That's where it comes from.
A-R.
The famous cake.
N-A-U-T.
Now we know.
Wait, one more time. Sorry.
The last name?
Yep.
A-R-N-A-U-T.
Oh, God damn it.
Every time I listen to Critical Role's campaign 2, I actually listened to quite a few of them. I was going to make a joke about like all 2 episodes, but like I listened to like 17 of them, which is just wasn't that much of that campaign. I thought about how miserable we would be if someone chose the name not in our campaign. And I thought, I wonder how much internal discussion they had beforehand about how many times they could joke about that name.
And do you know his new character's name? Fresh Cut Grass.
Really?
Yeah.
That's his character's name.
FCG,
FCG.
aka letters.
They call him letters
That's what
sometimes
he's called.
too.
Stefan, what name did you go with?
Drent.
How does he have a name, Fresh Cut Grass?
He played linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts for a few years, I think.
That whole name?
Oh, Trent Richardson, yeah.
I didn't know that.
He did not play
It's
linebacker.
okay. No, it doesn't matter.
Trent Richardson's a running back.
And Trent Ickathon was an asshole.
Yep.
Is our mic on? Our mic is definitely
Yes.
not.
It is.
Are we live?
What's your name?
We're not live, but I see there's
Yeah,
audio.
you gotta.
So
mute-
they're
you gotta
hearing
mute
us.
the mic there
Oh,
when we're
no.
talking. Yeah.
Yo.
Click the speaker down. So
Run!
next to, no. Slider goes regular.
Wait, no, that's not right.
Okay, I'm not stressed
So
anymore.
excited.
Same.
Are we starting?
Yeah. See, now I have to unmute. That's weird.
My favorite
It's
thing
not
is-
I'm not
unmuted
gonna erase Richardson.
on standard. Hello, everyone.
You're a fool for writing last names.
Today we're gonna be playing in the world of Mihraen.
Mihraen. You rain.
Yeah, this is this is one that sort of came up quickly, and we'll see how it goes. This is sort of this is going to be an adventure that we go through, sort of in the interim sessions while we wait for the start of our next sort of full-on campaign. We'll probably drop back into Mihraen from time to time as our core campaign takes break.
There's gonna be time jumps in this campaign. That's crazy.
Yeah, I
what
mean,
lazy bum is
like
delaying the start of
possibly
Pantera,
matters
though?
of seconds. We just come back and I'm like, 6 seconds after the end of our past campaign.
Heck of a jump.
Technically, all time jumps for that matter can be
Right, yeah,
a matter of
exactly.
seconds.
No 2 points in time are
So
identical.
2 years is still a matter of seconds.
2 points in time would only give you a +1 bonus, so...
True.
I don't know why that got me so good.
I mean, 2 points in time would give you a
I didn't
-4.
hear it.
if
2
it's only
points in
that,
time
too.
only
That's
gives you
fair.
a +1,
But your base stats don't start at 0.
That's true.
right?
Oh god.
All right. So I guess I'm actually gonna start by reading the primer that I sent to you guys for
me into the
the
world.
viewers.
Bring me
I saw this
in.
online last
Did you
week.
want music?
Do you want music?
Oh yeah, music would be great. I'm even.
Alright, let me practice my character voice real
Same,
quick.
yeah, I'm gonna-
John Cena?
I think this sounds pretty good for it.
He's here, you just can't
Could see him. Yeah.
Okay.
I want it to be authentic to the character. I feel like this is about as close as I can get to the accent.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
I'm
Okay.
Jagger.
You're gonna have a hard time.
Audio's on, should be on.
Like,
Yeah.
at least
Yeah,
25%
I
of
hear
us
it
got really outside of our comfort zone
At
for
least,
this.
at
for this,
least 1/4.
And it was Jordan.
It was
It was
me.
definitely
It
Jordan.
was absolutely me. I am
Put it
playing. Okay.
All right.
This is my outlet for my. It's the opposite of my entire character.
I have like a side table now. I like this.
Actually, it's
Like
pretty
this little-
convenient.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, I'm good with this.
You're just gonna start bumping things.
You can start reaching over Kevin's. If Kevin's gonna get part
Let me
way
see
into the
that.
campaign. He's gonna be like, Stefan, if you could stop doing that. We're all gonna be like,
I'm gonna drop my dice like this.
The real question is, how many times am I gonna kick the computer now?
Same. It's right here.
At least the
that's
off
right.
button isn't on the front face, so you'd have to work to turn it off on accident.
It's on the side.
that's right,
Where
Kevin,
his,
and then
where your foot
eventually
is.
There you
Caleb
go.
is gonna have the duty of turning towards Stefan when Stefan's going. While staring at the I turn to Stefan, I'm like, and I would just reach over and like set a hand down.
I evolved to this from like this.
Yeah, it was like
So-
it was resounding before, and I was like,
Now I'm just like quietly playing.
Primer.
Yeah, sorry,
letting
I'm
him-
I'm seeing the mic, like the red light on the mic go on
good.
every so often, so I'm just trying to make sure we're down in like the levels of normal humans on here. If the audio's bad, let me know.
Lance, help!
Yeah,
Yeah, Lance is in here. He'll let us
Let's
know.
help!
man, Lance is just all about the compliments on me. Look at that. I appreciate
I
it.
didn't follow up anymore after that.
Unfortunately, he's not Caleb. He's Jordan. So his
All right.
stats do not start at a minimum of
Audio
16.
was good.
Primer.
And Calebson.
In the world of Mihraen, the continent of Kolharin is what many would call unforgiving. You guys have this.
We
I was
have
gonna say,
this.
we had this digitally.
This is so last week, guys.
From the rocky desert of the Tar Wastes, home of the tar pits as well as many dangerous predators like tar mouths, bone sneaks, and wraith wives, to the Alstramen, a mountainous terrain under a constant storm of hail and lightning, to the Kept Isles, a small chain of islands off the coast covered in vegetation with no one who has explored it having returned. It seems a mystery how any people have come to call this land their home. The people of this land, in general, are well-tempered, kind, and hardworking. They're industrious and stubborn, as if to tell the land that they are here to stay. Though the world might insist on otherwise. The people do well by each other because if they don't band together, there is little chance for survival. Your story will take place in the town of Corette. It is a small town near the large stone bastion of a hold that is Bantor. Though dwarfed by the city, whose large stone and wood structures are just visible in the distance, Corette is still a fine village in its own right. Its town is made of wood and stone houses, as is typical of the region, with thatched or tiled roofs. The people wear garments woven from local fur-leaded water vines, as livestock are notoriously difficult to raise here. Though landlocked and miles from any coast, Corette has grown around its industry as a fishing village thanks to its meadow fishers, folks who step off the Greystone roads to fish the dwellers of the Vertlock that covers most of the surrounding area. A crime has occurred in the town of Corette, one involving one of the few wealthy merchants in town, Alzo de Fortin. He may not have much of a reputation around town, but he does pay his taxes and pays them well. The mayor is very concerned about the well-being of all her citizens, but maybe a little more personally involved with those paying the larger portion of Corette's upkeep. Though she may sometimes have a sober, business-like quality to her demeanor, the mayor, Florent Marchand, is a very popular and influential figure. She keeps the interests of the townspeople at heart and is always willing to fight tooth and nail to ensure her people are taken care of. Due to one reason or another, you all have volunteered to help investigate this crime and the town of Corette. You may be part of the local militia, one of the few town's guards, the sheriff, the deputy, the mayor's assistant, a kindly traveler passing through, an eager scout trying to earn a badge. There aren't actually scouts. The land is hard enough that all kids learn survival by necessity, but you get the idea. One of the more unique features of Colharan, or rather Mihraen, beyond what it does have, is what it lacks. On Colharan, there is little to no magic to speak of. Only martial classes are available to be played, though this does include the gunslinger. Magic is heard of, but is of little import. Someone might have seen an object able to produce flame, or instantly clean an object, or the occasional outlander might be able to move water with their thoughts, but that is all. Where Colharan has excelled is its technology. The abundant, unique, and dynamic landscapes are difficult to survive, but have provided the people of this continent with exciting opportunities for innovation, and innovate they have. One such way is that though gunpowder has not been discovered for lack of the chemical components, guns do exist, though they are powered by a combination of electricals, springs, gears, and magnets, able to produce similar results. And the rest of it is basically that everyone's just starting at level 1.
So I shouldn't be a wizard.
No, sorry. Didn't I tell you? Do you want to go remake your character?
Yeah, I'll be back in 2 hours. Hold on.
I don't know how to say that.
Oh, wait. What if I'm a wizard that can't cast magic and uses guns? Is that okay?
Gun wizard?
I cast
As long as we can replace Wiz with gun and Zard with slinger. Yes.
Okay, deal.
Cool.
We did it.
I thought of my next one. It has nothing to do with what happened there. I just
Is it
thought
named Wiz
I was
Yeah.
hoping you would be like
Guns
wizards that just use guns.
Yeah,
Like,
that's kind of what I was hoping.
Fireball.
I cast fireball. Oh, you do? Did it work?
you know it takes him 6 seconds to cast that spell. You know what you could do in 6 seconds?
Fire
Shoot
your
him
gun
6 times.
3 times. Or
Fire
6
at
times.
least twice.
Swing a sword 2 times.
Swing a flail 2 times.
I'm gonna blow you guys with my level 5. Tell you what.
Please don't. I like it where it's at.
Okay. I'll think about it.
So, the 4 of you will have all been independently summoned to come to the City Hall to meet with the mayor around 2 on this day. So late afternoon, you all show up outside of City Hall and sort of run into each other and I'll let you introduce yourselves there.
So you all were summoned too?
Yeah.
Think there's more than just us, or is it you guys think this is everybody?
Well, usually I'm here. I'm the assistant of the mayor, of course. So
there's only 3. Are you coming?
I mean, I'm waiting for you guys outside right now.
All right. Well.
So, I am. I'm pretty much here to find any. I guess to see if anything was stolen out of the workshops in town as well. But I'm short. I think I stayed with. So I'm very out of my element in this place. I stayed with Riss. I had help at the engineer's shop.
Sorry, I should have given you all the opportunity to do the once around the table. So as we sort of do this introduction to each other in game at the mayor at the town hall, why don't you all sort of take the opportunity to also describe your character, give your name, your like a little elevator pitch.
Can I ask before we get into it, what information were we given as part of these summons?
What you've all heard. Well, Jag, you know a little bit more of what's going on. What you've all been told by the sort of messenger from the neighbor, from the mayor, is that there was a crime committed involving one of the wealthier local merchants. There's not many of them, so you already have some idea of who it might be, but that there's a crime.
Okay, we don't have any specifics on the crime itself, just that there was a
Right.
Okay. Who wants to go
Do you want
first?
to lead off?
Sure. Yeah. I was trying to decide if I was what I was going to bring with me based on the description of the crime.
Sure.
Since I don't know what it is, you'll see me. I'm probably around 5'5", balding on top, probably late 30s. No gray in my hair, but it's like a dark black. Big beard that sort of is bushy enough to like cover my mouth. You can't really see my mouth unless I'm talking. And even then, it's just kind of a bunch of movement. I have a bit of hair around. I don't know what you call that, but I'm just bald on the top.
Friar look. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And I'm pretty heavy set. Like I got a pretty big gun on me, and I'm wearing. I'm carrying a backpack. You'll see me like this around town a lot. Just carrying a hatchet with a utility dagger, and then my rifle, my long sort of hunting rifle, and a crossbow as well, just as a backup because these things tend to misfire. The last thing that's a little out of place and you might notice is that I'm wearing some like padded leather looking armor that I don't usually go around town wearing, but with this news I've decided to put it on. And my name is Drent as well. Drent Richard. Nope, that's wrong. Drent.
Quick before
Oh,
it's
it didn't
canon.
change.
Oh, it's set in stone.
Stuck forever.
It's Drent something.
D&D.
Something.
It's Drent.
Dread something.
Yeah.
Weird. That's gonna be a lot of characters for me to write down.
Jagerman Jensen.
Drent TBD.
Why didn't that save? I think of a new name.
Okay. So I am Jagger Arnaud, assistant to the mayor. You guys, we've obviously met before, and I go by to pretty much anybody that I meet formally. I have them call me Jag. Whenever you see me, I'm always like dressed. It's always black clothing, but it's like it's nice. It's like it's never like, cloak and hood and whatnot. It's just like, it's very nice black clothing, and I'm like pretty suave looking. I have like somewhat like ruffled, but also windswept like black hair. And one thing that's like always been very annoying is, for most people they find it annoying, is I like don't necessarily, it's not like I'm like skulking around or anything, but it seems like I'm always just like, you just are like, wait, when did he get here? Like type of scenario. It's like weirdly quiet for a personality that seems to like stand out quite a bit. Not born in the town, but came here to live with his aunt and uncle. And this is what you guys would know.
Pretty sweet.
Human. Also.
Human.
I'm also a human, yes.
I'm also a human. My name is Jordan, about 6'2", brown hair,
A bit of a beard.
and a little bit of facial hair. It's probably a little bit disheveled at this point. I have on like overalls, like almost like a mechanic's type clothing with almost grease stained pants. I've got heavy gloves with lots of different gears and buttons on them. I'm wearing this kind of like circular chest piece, as well as I've always got like it looks like just kind of a cup stuck to my head on a band. I've also got it's like, it's like a headband with like it's a headlamp.
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I saw one on the other day.
Underneath the overalls, I've got on like a pinkish red shirt with some writing that you guys can't quite understand, and I've got a chain with like rubber ring on it around my neck, and I'm wearing like heavy leather boots as well.
A rubber ring.
And I work with the engineer in town,
Riss?
Common. Yeah.
Wait.
With/4.
Conan was their name?
Common.
His business name was Guardians.
Not true.
Trademarked.
Depends. It's alternate time.
I will break the streak as I am a 7'5" Goliath with bluish skin. I've got the like facial line markings that are pretty customary for a lot of Goliaths. My name is Reese Crixos. I, earlier in life did some time as a soldier. Didn't stick for long. I've lived in Corette basically my whole life. I do work as a hunter, as one of the people they hire when there's a monster on the outskirts of town that needs taken care of. I frequent drafts. Yeah, I was like, wait, that rhymes as well as I wanted to, right?
That's a very Caleb Tavern.
Yep.
Thanks.
I
was real happy when I thought of it.
When not working, frequently found there. Occasionally, serving as an unofficial bouncer. I'm probably like the largest single individual in the city of Corette, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
You're up there.
Yeah.
Have you seen Jorfton though? With a PH.
I
big. That dude's yoked.
I actually
Confused
am the
me
one
for him.
who
It's because kids throw
found
eggs at him.
Jordan
That's still mean.
on the outskirts of town.
No, this is Jordan. I'm talking about Jorfton.
Oh,
The other guy.
The other guy.
Easily
confused.
Confused, yes. But no, I actually saved him from a plains bear when he was running through the wilds in bare feet and just...
Well, I would be pretty mad
Clueless.
too if I was a plains bear and I saw this guy running with bare feet.
We went for opposite ends of that joke. I like it.
Oh. Yep. So I'm the one who dragged his scrawny butt into town.
True.
So you lived with your uncle. You came in after the military.
I've been here for 6 months. He found me out in the fields and let me crash with him for at least a little while.
Okay. I've been here my whole life. Like since I didn't mention that, but.
All right, yeah. So you and I would be pretty familiar then, because I've also been here basically my entire life.
I've been here years as well, so I would know you guys. You would know who I was, for sure.
Look at the skeevy new guy. Thinks he belongs because he's been here a couple of years.
I'm with the mayor.
with his stupid hair.
I do have this dope side shaved but mohawk silver hair
love
thing
it.
going on. That's
So he started balding up towards the center, but he just sent it and he shaved in between, so he's got two sides of the mohawk.
I went through that phase once. Yeah.
There it is.
Nice.
Oh snap!
It was coming out of my laptop speakers, but it was really quiet. So I just thought,
Oh, that's it.
yeah, I thought I didn't realize I have this like
Surround sound.
program to like help
Gotcha.
like manage audio, and
You have
sometimes
the
it gets
cool,
all
like,
weird.
the cool like metal
big
dwarf
is
kind of hair.
this town?
So Corette is about 800 people. For America, it's very very small town. For like this really like sort of unindustried, like rural, just like the whole realm of Kolharin, the whole continent of Kolharin is like pretty raw overall. Like it's not like there's no like water deep in Kolharin. There's not like this major city of industry and like luxury and stuff. Like it's a pretty brutal place, and there are some really like there's some natural features where like what you'll find is that like they have electricity because finding electricity is very easy here. But other things like getting a bunch of metal to build really big like skyscrapers is not. That's just not a thing.
Got it.
Stone is somewhat prevalent, in part because of the gray stone paths, and we'll talk about some of these different things as they
come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, I also have a flail and a sword across my back, and a couple hatchets on me most of the time, unless I'm hunting. And then I got a longbow.
With me. Oh, so I'm also a huntsman, woodsman, leatherworker, tanner sort of deal. That's my profession, if you will.
But yeah, so for like the continent, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but from our perspectives, really really tiny. So you very rarely see a face that is completely new. You aren't necessarily intimately familiar with everyone in town, but you are really close to Bantor, the capital city. You're about like 16 or so miles southwest of Bantor, and Bantor is the capital of Fairthane, which is the country that you're in.
Cool. How do you spell the country?
Ferthane. Fairthane.
And Bantor?
Bantor, Bantour.
So you did you ask for us to come here, or did the mayor ask for us to come here?
Of course, I didn't ask for you to come here. I mean, I'm glad you're here. I'd rather not have to deal with this myself, but I think the mayor should tell you what's going on.
I'd assume some random like teenage messenger stopped by and was like, "Yo."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, since
The
the three
office
of them
intern at the
have arrived, you can escort them in.
Yeah. Why don't we head in and find out, some more details. But I open the door and kind of just like motion in.
I go in.
Okay. So he opens the door to what is one of the bigger structures in town. The road kind of comes up to a three-pointed intersection, where City Hall, as it were, it's the center of local government, but really it's mostly just the mayor and her staff are like have their office and have their living quarters attached to it.
Yeah, isn't it insane that the mayor and a long walking stick have several living quarters in an entire building?
What?
The mayor and her staff.
And her staff.
Oh.
I was like, what?
I gotta work for me and Caleb.
That's
Caleb,
true.
Caleb.
Putting it over to
So as you walk in, it's pretty on the ornate side of what you are all used to. I'm sure at some point, all of you would have seen this at least once. Jordan, even you, at some point in the last 6 months, especially with you sort of showing up with in the way that you did, with a little less announcement.
Conversation or two.
Yeah, like you would have come here to meet. The mayor's not so busy that she can't at some point talk to basically everyone in town, given that that's sort of her job and is just in her personality. But many of you would have probably been in here multiple times, so you've seen it before. But it's just sort of a polished stone floor. Everything is neat and well kept. The air just smells crisp and clean. No sort of dust accumulating or anything. But you don't see a lot of rushing. Things are still pretty quiet overall. You see a few assistants sitting over on a desk to the right, sort of a like a reception desk. But given that you're with Jag, you'll be sort of escorted straight past it.
I'm guessing no one was murdered. Everyone's too calm for that.
We'll go up a flight of sort of shining wooden carpeted steps that spirals up to the second floor. And at the top of the second floor, through a couple of double doorways, you'll enter the mayor's chambers. So, as Jag would, I'm sure, open the door, escort you all in, and then walk in behind you. You see the mayor is sitting there, sort of looking down and taking some notes and looking over papers. And once the door closes, she promptly, "Thank you all for coming. Jag, thank you for escorting them in.
Of course.
I appreciate it. Reese, Drent, Jordan, I appreciate you all coming. Thank you for fulfilling my request. You see, we have an issue, and while I am not much of a fan of bringing civilians in to do this type of work, it seems that those that would normally handle this sort of thing are preoccupied at the moment. I would appreciate your discretion with the news that I'm about to share with you. Can you all agree to that?"
I'm no gossip monger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reese is not a talker. I'm not.
Good. So you see, 2 nights ago, there was a theft in the home of Alzo de Fortin, one of the merchants I'm sure you're all somewhat familiar with in town here. It seems they broke into his home and took many of his valuables. And have disappeared. As you all know, I don't imagine that... I can't imagine that anyone in our town would have done such a thing, though it's not unheard of. But if that would be the case, they wouldn't be able to do much with the goods, at least in town, and we have ears over in Bantor and haven't heard anything so far. And so you see, we're unsure of where the goods might have gotten to, unsure of who might have taken them. And Reese and Drent, I know you two have just a swath of skills that I suspect might be of use here. I would have you all be escorted by Jagger, Mr. Arnault here, to ensure that the proper protocol is seen to. But I would appreciate it if the 4 of you together would take a look into this with me. Jordan, I'm just, you are new to this town, and but it seems you're clever. She looks a little skeptically at, like, just the, like, varying
All
bits
of
of
it?
metal
Yep.
that are draped across your body. Like,
And
I look skeptically at her comment of him being clever.
and at this, I'll be like, from my research, it seems like he should be pretty capable.
I've gotten lucky with a few experiments, but yeah, it should be I'll do what I can to help out. You guys have taken me in, so. it's
how
the
many
least I can do.
experiments?
So we're putting him on the front line.
Well, 7 that work. One that almost works. I just pull out this wrench that's got like gears, and you can see like sparks shooting out of it at different points. Just like
Just
slap.
like pull at the
But
top,
it's
it's sparking.
Not okay. So that's almost there, and then a few other ones that didn't work.
How many?
Well,
I'll figure that out.
regardless,
All right.
luck only goes so far.
Right.
Seems that you've done enough.
He's
that
he's persistent.
persistence is a good enough quality on its own sometimes, and especially in investigation, pays dividends.
He may be a crackpot, but he ain't dumb.
Out of character, how often do thefts occur in the town that we hear of, at least?
That I know.
Minor, like you would hear about like little thefts, something like, you know, someone pockets something from a store, like
Nothing big.
maybe
this.
like a few times a year, like
Okay.
so something of this scale where like
There was a
one of the main merchants got like
It was a break-in,
a lot of his
a
stuff
bunch
stolen
of stuff missing.
is like
Big deal.
yeah
Why are you asking?
Less-
Are you thinking about committing a crime? It's a check.
less than once a year, like I would say probably once every 2 years.
Okay.
Noting that any one of these facts that I tell you might come back to bite me later.
That's fine. It's fine.
Well, I remember the case 2 years ago.
Next week, there's another theft.
Man, it's exponential.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's where I just shunt you guys over to another city. Oh, this city, tons of crime all the time, man. You got a lot of stuff to investigate.
There's so much theft that they've run out of stuff to steal
Just-
originally. Now they're just stealing from each other's stolen goods. That's how bad it is.
Incredible.
Are there any like merchants that have come into town recently? I haven't heard of any researchers coming in. At least not the stuff at the shop.
We'll always get a few people passing through on their way to Bantor from the south, but none more than normal. None that cause any suspicion other than being outsiders. Though I can.
There's always outsiders and teenagers, but
I'm sure you can find most of them at the inn, and maybe if you hurry, you could find some on the road north. Most merchants aren't moving particularly quickly, but there always are. There always may be just others from surrounding areas.
are we Are we sort of like? So it sounds like people come through our town to get to the capital.
Yeah.
So we're not like off the beaten path. We're sort of through, but people come through.
Yeah, and roads are super important. So the surrounding landscape is especially the surrounding landscape is sort of like marshy, loamy, like really soft earth, and so taking a wagon through there is all but impossible. And so going through your town is one of the Greystone paths, which are these large, like 30-foot wide granite paths, just like
Okay.
going through. And so it's like that's your highway where no one's quite sure how to make another highway, right? So it's
We're just running off what we got.
yeah. So the land overall is not hugely populated, but like anyone coming from like basically the southwest of you going to the city comes through Corette.
And so the city is what, northeast or north or?
Northeast.
Okay.
So, do you think we should start at the house that was robbed? Is that I don't know how.
That's
I mean,
from what I've spoken to the sheriff about. That seems to be how investigations work.
Star of the source.
Let's see.
Hopefully we can find some sort of clue.
Clever indeed.
I mean, we can also just go knocking door to door and be like, hey, have you stolen anything recently? But don't think that's going to get us very far.
How good's your insight?
Not very good.
+2.
Well, not terrible, but
10% above average.
There's only 800 people in town, so if you spent
well, it's
3
also,
or 4 days, you might be able to talk to all of
it's
them.
also
And
kind
if
of hard
one
to be
of them
discreet
was
about
the
a theft if
criminal.
you ask everyone. If they,
That it is.
yeah, so...
What's the? Let's go to the crime scene. We'll see what's missing.
I'll take you guys there. Assuming you don't know where
I do not
the
know.
house is just yet.
it's obviously... Yeah.
You two would probably know just because, like,
I mean, I sell stuff to them, so...
when you're in a small town and, like, you know, there's,
Rich
like,
family.
6 houses that are, like, way bigger than all the other houses, you kind of know, like, you're like, I'm pretty sure this is actually the biggest house in the town, and I know who lives there.
Yeah, a bunch of consultants rented it out. We call it the mansion.
What do they even do?
They have house parties.
Sure.
They have house parties all the time.
Let's go.
Thank you, Jake. Thank you all.
Well, hopefully we find something. I'm just glad he's not dead.
Also, feel free to talk to Sheriff Glessig if you have any questions. She investigated the scene briefly, but again is otherwise occupied.
Makes me
Where
wonder what else is
she
going on.
at
She's
right now?
already occupied.
She may be at the scene. She may be at the station, sheriff's station, police station. It's not really police.
Quarters.
The station.
Yeah.
Town guard barracks.
It's a different unit though.
Office.
Oh, okay. Office of Internal Affairs.
Office of Carrot Affairs.
Let's do it.
All right, let's head there first. See what she's found. Then we can check out the house of Mr. Defortan.
Okay, so you're headed to the
sheriff's office.
sheriff's office. Yeah, sure. We'll figure out what it's called next time. Okay.
We should bring some donuts. I'm
Well-
sure England's got a new batch for today.
Sure, we can do that.
It just seems curious.
Right. Okay.
I find that it's best to just bring snacks when you go out.
It
I'll
is.
bet.
It is a custom for sure.
You said you got a little pot belly going on, so I was like, yeah, I bet.
I was supposed to be talking about you,
Drent is not about to turn down the chance to stop for donuts.
you know, gotta love the cake. You know, Carrot's famous for its cake. It's so good.
Thank you. I was
It's
holding.
true,
I was
yeah.
holding on to.
I
I was holding on to the
wasn't
fact that I was
sure.
like, it's the only carrot in the continent. Probably.
Yep. I wasn't sure when it was.
All the
gonna come
people
out,
are
but
orange.
it's here.
Yeah. It's one of those things when coming up with fantasy names, you have to admit that sometimes they're going to sound like things, and
Yep.
That's how
Okay,
it goes.
yep.
Indeed.
Anyways,
So Eglin is a really adorable old lady who runs a pastry shop in town, and I actually rent out the back room of her shop, and that's where I stay.
sure.
she's a really old, sort of round dwarf lady. So Drent has kind of a pot belly. She's just
Stout.
like a tomato.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she's just like she's a baker, and she's been
Yeah.
enjoying her own goods for her whole life.
Got it.
She's also really old and has like a little bit of stubble at this point.
Sure.
I've also been enjoying her goods my whole life, and I don't mean that sexually.
Well, sure.
As I was saying, like, this
We
can be
may-
interpreted differently.
I guess we can swing by there. Usually work alone, but sure. Sure. I'm not used to detours on an objective.
Especially the mayor is very like we're gonna keep things running. We're gonna like get to the point. We're not we're not like ice cold or anything, but we're trying to get stuff done.
Yeah.
And like, you're hired to be her assistant, right? And so yeah, this would probably itch a little bit.
It's not like super out of the way. The town's not that big. It's just
So
like
you can.
Just stop for donuts on the way. It's not out of the way. It was just a quick stop for some donuts.
While we're on the way over.
Hey, we wanted to check in on how this robbery's been going. By the way, here's some donuts.
It's a little. It's where I'm from. It's like it's a joke about like the investigators like donuts a lot of the time. So maybe this is like part of it. I don't know.
I was wondering how your amnesia had been going.
So, I mean,
Yes, we can talk more about like
another time.
about this the past that you come up with a bit later. I do feel for you.
How long have you been here in town, Jordan?
6
months.
months.
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he sounds a little bit like a Looney Tune doll.
Yeah.
Like exactly
Ohio. Like, what the hell?
182 days so far. Not that I've been counting.
That's like 18 weeks. 10 days.
10 days. It doesn't. Why wouldn't you put your days in sevens?
Why would you do that?
Why would you put your days?
Calendar
can't
is
get
split
it.
up into
I
10
can't.
days.
Is it?
We're using the.
We've got
Bible.
I haven't said weeks or 10 days yet.
So,
I know.
We've got a decimal, number system. Why wouldn't
It's a
do we
hex
can-
calendar.
We're actually all base hexadecimal. Have fun.
I told
have-
Caleb to make his own.
Can I have
just
D
break the
base
bullets,
two,
9
please?
weeks.
But
Name all
also,
the
it's
new
not
days.
the extra 6 digits are
And
not
call it
A, B,
something
C,
other
D,
than a
E.
week from now,
It's
10 day.
just other
I
numbers?
have like
This is a loaf.
other words for you.
They're just new numbers.
All right,
Three
Yeah.
we're
Right,
at
it's
the
just- yeah.
donut shop.
Just extra words.
We don't even have to do it. I'm just
We're at the
saying,
donut shop. No, 3 people wanted to go.
I wasn't saying we're not
I am
going.
sorry
We
for
can
the
just
donut.
abbreviate it.
No, we're at
so
the
you
donut
get to
shop.
so you get to Eglin's. Were you saying Eglin or Eglin?
Oh, I said Eaglin.
Eglin. Sure.
Cool,
You
Eglin.
you probably know her better than I do. So you get to Eglin's store, and it's more of a general store. It's not like a proper bakery. So it has a lot of food supplies, home supplies, just kind of whatever you might need. It's one of the smaller shops in town. But next to the register, cash box,
It's the correct
Um,
bodega.
there's just sort of a little display case of pastries. And it's still early enough in the day that it's still pretty well stocked. But by about 1, it's pretty empty. People quite like her pastries, and she has some sweet and some savory, so you can come and grab lunch there.
Did you clear her out when you left this morning?
I get the bacon,
some bacon, maybe.
the savory one.
Yeah. Just like,
Well,
Hey, Glenn.
go ahead.
Take a dozen to go, please.
Oh, hello, Reese. Thank you for coming in. It's so good to see you. I thought you left for the day, though.
Well, on our way to see Sheriff Glessig. Figured
Oh,
we'd,
Sheriff Glessig, are you helping her out today?
That's the plan.
Oh, I'm proud of you, Reese. Who are your friends?
thanks, Austin.
Well, I mean,
She recognizes me.
you know Drent.
I
and
stayed
then-
here for a couple days.
It's very clear that her eyesight is just like she's like,
It's
Basically
Drent.
not.
oh,
It's a
hi,
blind.
Drent.
Yeah.
How's the foot rash?
That was like 3 months ago. It's been fine.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it.
We've met like a lot.
This is the crazy one I found in the fields.
I was here.
Ohio, Jordan.
That's. Oh gosh.
It's nice to see you.
It's yep. It's
How are the dogs?
That's so sad.
No.
I think they're good. They're probably fine.
Oh, good. Reese, are you taking care of him? Are you taking him to Sheriff Glessig?
What?
Sort of, but not for that reason.
I just don't want him out there hurting himself. And is that dark, shadowy figure? Jag, is that you?
Hello.
Oh, it's so nice to see you. Would you like a piece of candy?
No, but thank you. Well,
Is it a word that's original?
When you were a kid, you used to love the little lollipops.
Those are, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
what kind do you have?
Here, and
I
she brings
pull
out,
out like a pocket watch. I'm like, what kind do you have?
she brings out a little basket and just holds it out, and there's just a bunch of different flavors in there.
I like dig around like one finger a little bit.
And then she reaches in her pocket and hands one with like the one you're looking for.
I do like a
There's the green apple.
Are we taking those donuts for us?
Thank
or
you.
For, I am a little hungry.
See?
Are those for the
Snacks.
sheriff or are those for us?
Ain't no use thinking on an empty stomach.
Can I get a glazed donut?
Yeah. So she would have a few donuts in there.
Or cake donut?
Some cinnamon buns
One
or
with a
some,
They would be
some sweet rolls.
They would be yeasted
Somebody
donuts.
stole some sweet rolls.
This
have a
this
plan
right
for
now
this.
is when I'm thinking back to the conversation with Doug, where he's like, "Why would you need to prep all that stuff? Why would you need to prep the full selection of pastries that this
Whatever we
character
ask for,
has?"
she's got. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I can ask for a maximum.
So
of
so
things,
so it'd be
yeah.
yeasted donuts, because chemical leaveners are
Probably
a
it.
more modern thing. Like they don't have baking soda, so they're yeasted donuts. They would have kind of a spiced sugar one, and also a glazed, like a plain glazed.
Probably like a carrot cake glaze too. That'd be dope. No?
No.
That sounds great.
Sorry.
What about
England,
bananas?
we really should try
I mean,
this.
technically they're all correct glazed, but
Yeah.
Touche.
but not carrot glazed.
Right.
I
Or
stand
are they gonna get
corrected.
carrots? They can't.
But
I'll get some banana bread if she has any.
Again,
Yeah,
are you sure?
I don't know if
I
are
thought-
there bananas in
I
this
thought
place?
that it was hard to grow stuff.
it is.
How the? Where did you get bananas?
It actually is
How did you get them?
We live on a
those aren't bananas. Those are what you guys call bananas.
What are you talking about?
They actually they're very
Plantains.
similar. They're very similar to our bananas. You haven't seen the plants though,
Yeah.
but they have bananas.
So when I get the donut, I take my right glove and I just I flex my fingers and you guys just see me hold it over and you hear like a microwave sound. Just give it like 2 seconds. Okay.
Do you get it glazed?
It's a man who knows to shop and grass
yes.
cantrip.
The glaze is a little melty on your gauntlet.
It's fine. The first thing I ate when I got here made me so sick. This seems to stop that from happening.
Probably the water.
I wasn't really.
I thought you were heating it.
Asking, but that's fine. You do you, man.
Yeah, I was getting a lot of looks. All right.
Trust me, explaining it doesn't help.
I do like the idea that people who have interacted with you on more than one occasion to like get the whole backstory. We've all just like collectively decided you're probably nuts,
Yep.
but you're actually smart and you seem relatively harmless. So
Right.
I just welcome to society.
It
Yeah,
makes
the way-
more
the
sense
way-
that you guys find a person sleeping in a field
Yeah.
that's just like, I'm from a world that you don't know about. Like the first answer is you're insane. Like,
You're
that
insane.
100% makes sense.
You're insane, but you're not hurting anyone.
Right.
And you keep getting results. So like, I guess sure.
Yeah.
He's just crazy Jordan the scientist.
Exactly.
It's one of those things where it's just like, you're weird, but that's okay.
I'm around.
I'm okay with
It fits into a trope all its own.
Exactly.
Okay, so donut, banana bread. I would take it's what you, Stefan, are thinking of as
Okay.
banana bread. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you describe that? What he's doing.
What Stefan specifically is thinking of as banana bread. It's actually pure banana just shaped into a bread shape.
How did you
It's
know?
actually bread baked in the shape of a banana.
Again, what you guys call
Call
a banana,
bananas.
not a banana.
But who could possibly know? Because there's no banana for scale.
This is
Just a croissant. But there's no France, so we call it Banana bread.
Also, milk is like dairy is really hard to come by, so good luck like getting a flaky croissant without butter.
Yeah.
A flaky what?
Croissant.
A flaky banana bread? Thank
you, viewers, for tuning into this high quality content.
So now we have the donuts.
Fantasy.
So you have the pastries. Did you want to get some for the sheriff as well?
Yeah, no, I was like getting a dozen.
Sure. Okay.
Kinda
Yeah.
just
So
whatever's
we'll
there.
pack up. She doesn't necessarily have a dozen donuts, but pack up an assortment of different sort of muffins and breads and donuts and hand them to you to take.
So okay.
Fancy.
Oh,
So
anytime.
the mayor said that the people that usually do this are not available.
Maybe we should go outside for this.
Yeah, sorry.
Nothing.
Who's not available?
Nothing to worry about.
Did they get married?
Yes.
Oh, that's so nice. I like
Yes.
a good wedding.
Yes.
Kids are already on the way.
And speaking of which, we need to be on our way. It was good to see you.
It's crazy what.
Goodbye. Thank
Good
you.
to talk
This was
to you,
good. Yes.
Jagger.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's go.
So as we get outside, she's got very selective hearing, and I don't want her to spread the town gossip.
What?
The hot goss.
So she said that the town, who usually,
Bad guess,
do you know
fast as
who the people that usually take care of this are and what they're doing?
The guards?
Is
And
it
the
the
sheriff?
guards? Is that, well, no, the sheriff, well, we're going,
Well, the
that-
sheriff. Please listen when people talk. The sheriff,
I got,
as the mayor stated, the sheriff had investigated the scene, but is currently not able to continue with the investigation. I don't know why, but that's just how it is.
Is Leon stationed here? Primarily?
Yes.
I took a bite of my bread. Does it have nuts in it?
I'm allergic.
I am though. I'm not terribly allergic, but
Are you allergic to all nuts or just tree nuts? Because they're not tree nuts.
I'm allergic to whatever nuts I put in banana bread.
these nuts?
Yeah, there's some nuts in there.
Wait.
Which is weird because your character would probably know that like most banana bread has nuts in it.
Yeah, but she knows I'm allergic, so I thought she would give me the.
Here, hang on 1 second. I'm gonna.
Oh, if she knew that you were allergic, she would definitely give you banana bread without nuts in it.
I'm gonna.
Eglin isn't messing that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you having a reaction or no?
No.
Okay.
What was that?
Are you having a reaction? Were you just like winding up a fist? Is that what it looks like?
I'm ready to help.
Right.
Moved in the form of some like back alley adrenaline.
I think it might have
shit.
been. I think she used nuts back there somewhere, though.
Oh yeah, there's definitely nuts like in the kitchen.
It's probably the glue.
It's probably fine. Let's get there.
Yeah, we'll just have that. If it gets worse, let me know.
What?
I don't know.
All right. I'm glad we did this.
Jag, let's go.
You guys are headed now to the sheriff's office.
Yep.
Yes.
That's
Cool. All right. So as you walk in, it's you get to this again stone building. All the buildings are kind of this gray stone that is kind of the same color as the gray stone paths that you see around. This one has a tiled roof, which is pretty rare in town, but it's the nicer government buildings all have them to just be a little better kept. As you walk in, there's sort of the main entry area, and then off to the right is a door to the sheriff's office where you could go and sort of the door is currently closed.
Is there a receptionist out front? Is this an Officer Jenny situation with just nameless receptionist who works there?
You don't see any. There is no receptionist out there at the moment.
Okay.
You see a table where one might occasionally be, but not right now.
Just walk up to the door and knock and say, Sheriff, it's Jag. I'm accompanied by a few others. We have... Dang it, freaking British. We have a few questions at the request of the mayor.
Yes, 1 minute. You just hear like a bunch of like drawers and papers shuffling and like stuff moving around in there. Come in.
You're a real asshole, Jay.
Under a minute. It's under a minute. She was faster. I opened the door. I'm impressed. Usually people stay longer. Hey, Sheriff.
Jag, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
I suppose this is
The Motley Crew.
Drent, Reese, Jordan.
Yep.
They're all good.
Okay,
They're all
okay.
good. They're all good. They know what they're doing.
Look, I talked to the mayor about this. I gave her 3 names. There are 4 of you here. I'm a little confused.
Listen.
Was I not supposed to be here?
No, you're fine.
I'm sure it was me.
The mayor's the mayor. If
Listen,
the mayor wants
you know,
me to do something, she pays.
You know that if I'm here, it's on the mayor's bidding. So don't worry.
Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's great to have you here,
Yep.
Jordan.
He's fine, I promise.
Look, you're right. He's wacko, but he is pretty smart.
Have you all been to Day 410's home yet?
We haven't
No,
been.
you're our first stop. And I'll hold out the box of donuts and stop for a donut.
Oh, yeah. We made a stop to bring you donuts.
The banana bread's done.
I just shrug.
All right. Oh, I haven't eaten today. She takes the box and just like sets them next to her and pops it open, like grabs one, and it's like this is her box now.
Yeah.
It's been deputized.
I know where we're
But-
stopping the way back.
She's taking all of
So we actually came here to stop and talk to you first.
Flick the back of your head.
We were gonna go investigate the scene, but we figured we'd find out what you had found and any insight or direction you could provide. Maybe expedite the process. Of
Sure.
Moving.
Sure. I guess I wish. Yes. I'm happy to help you all. As much as I can. I was only able to look into it briefly yesterday. As I'm sure the mayor told you, Day 410's home was broken into, we suspect, 2 nights ago. Day 410 himself was out of town delivering goods to Bantor that day. He found it yesterday forenoon when he got back home. Everything seemed to be well kept. There was no visible signs of forced entry. And Day 410 swears that he left his home locked. I tend to believe him. One doesn't become as successful as he does with leaving his things unlocked, especially when you have a home the size of his. I mean, the people of Kret are good, hardworking people, but they also, too many of them. There's still enough people in town that might jump on an opportunity if it presents itself. If a door's sitting open, who knows who could resist that temptation?
Free stuff is free stuff.
Would it have been relatively common knowledge that he was out of town, right? Like, I assume he probably has, like, a cart or sort of
He has a pretty big wagon, and again, like, there's sort of one big way to get out of town, so, like, when the big wagon leaves, he's not announcing. It's not like the whole town's, like, a Twitter about it, but...
If someone was paying attention.
Yeah, if someone wanted to figure out when his home was emptied, it'd be easy enough to just sort of watch when he leaves with a big load of goods and assume that there might be a couple stops between here and Bantor, but like he's almost certainly taking a wagon load of goods, or like in his case probably a small caravan to Bantor.
Does he? It's probably an obvious question, but do they have any enemies in town that would look to profit off them specifically being gone?
Enemies, as much as any merchant has enemies, no one that wants to kill him, but no one's gonna say no to a little extra coin here and there.
Can I make an insight check on that?
Sure.
You guys ready for the first natural one?
Oh,
Real close to a 1.
I know. It would have been great.
19.
19.
Real suspicious of her to be rolling dice.
If it was me, I always roll.
No less.
Well, Caleb always rolls. It's a good strategy.
It's a good strategy. That's what I would do.
She, from what you can tell, she seems to be telling the truth. To her knowledge, Alzo de Fortin doesn't have any specific enemies, just like business rivals.
Gotcha.
A lot of questions. We'll get there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
suppose
her
if-
first name is it Kilray or Kilray?
Korea.
Kilray. Okay.
What was stolen?
What was stolen? Quite a bit. Alzo de Fortin had quite a few luxurious items. Much of what was stolen was pretty small, is the real problem. No one took his handcrafted cushioned couch that probably costs more than this whole building, but then we would be able to find that. They took gems, jewelry, family heirlooms, some antiques. He gave me a list that of what he could remember, but and he is fairly scrupulous. Again, a merchant gets pretty good at keeping track of items, but there's always the chance that he forgets something. She sort of like reaches down one of her drawers, pulls out a list, and hands you a list, and there's a bunch of items on there.
Did someone else try to grab it?
I probably wouldn't.
Anything
let
ice soldier on
boy
it?
grab it. Like glazed gauntlet hand. Grab it.
Probably not.
They rip off the radiation.
So I don't know if that would cut into my cut. So it's good. No. I hand it back to anyone else wants to see it.
I love it.
Sorry. No signs of forced entry. I didn't really see anything out of place other than
The missing piece.
his stuff is gone.
Maybe he was lying about it.
Could this be insurance fraud?
Yeah.
Is there maybe nothing there? I don't
Do
actually say
I?
that.
Do I? In terms of the sheriff, do I think that they're like pretty competent, or am I like fairly aware that they're kind of like they're in this position? They do their job, but they're not like, you know.
They're the kind of incompetent small town sheriff that there's a sheriff so people don't complain about it.
Yeah.
No, Kilrea sort of knows what's up and gets stuff done.
Okay.
She's actually like, she was the one that was, so you would know that she was the one that actually requested that you guys be on this case, because she is more interested in any like extra chance of the crime getting solved rather than just sort of keeping it for the sheriff when she won't be working on it.
Yeah.
How old is she? Ish.
She's like middle years. She's a human.
Okay.
So right around 40 or 50.
Okay.
Well,
Anything else we should know before we head over there?
Oh, it's not to ask, thanks.
Anything else I tell you is probably just going to spoil your your investigation yourselves. I'd rather you take a fresh look.
Okay. Is Mr. Defortin expecting us?
Defortin is not staying in his home at the moment. We thought it better for him to stay in an inn for the time being.
We might need to be able to talk to him. Where he's staying, or can you tell us where he's staying?
Yes, he's staying at the inn on the north side of town, the Jeweler's Cove.
Do you have any symbols of authority that we need to be wearing while we're acting on behalf of
No.
the mayor or the sheriff? No?
No,
Okay.
I'm with you. You're fine.
Yeah, we're with Jag.
You don't have to worry about it.
We can do whatever we want.
Just riding in your jag.
Kick down some doors, set some fires. Jag let us do it.
Really?
No.
Oh.
That was funny, just in unison.
Your Yormik is showing.
Turns out Yormik
Not that
could have
far
just been called Jordan. Jordan the Sorcerer.
I can start a fire? Sorry, man. There's stone buildings.
If only I was your man. I could tell you everything about these buildings.
Yeah, true.
All
All right.
The killer part is you know that if you were Yormik, you could tell us.
Exactly.
Is the place unlocked?
It's like meta frustrating.
Is the place
the
unlocked?
home?
Yeah.
Yes, the home is unlocked.
All right.
Get someone posted there, or is it just?
Actually, no, it wouldn't be, I guess.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Yeah, no, here's a key.
I mean, I can get us in if I need to, but I prefer not to do that.
Here's a key.
Well,
Then
maybe
she
you
wants-
said preferred. Yeah.
He meant kick it in. I'm sure.
Well,
Show you kick it in.
well,
It
let's be
works.
honest. He's gonna be the one that kicks anything in.
But I'll know who told him to.
It won't be me. If anybody does, it's one of them. All right, I'm heading
It'd
out.
be me probably.
I don't. Okay.
If you guys are so busy, is there something going on in town that we should be worried about?
No.
Well, then I'm an insight.
Why? You know it's a lie. What are you inside checking?
Well, I mean, maybe they're.
I think she's lying.
Ooh, that's
You
pretty
don't
good.
say.
Yeah, I know. Well, I do not.
All right, we're.
You have pretty
we're
good
doing
powers
some-
of observation. I will give you that.
That's. I mean,
Bless you.
New
sometimes-
character. Who this? 17.
I wouldn't count on that.
17?
Honestly, rolling dice back there.
It keeps going in between, like, the little gap between the mat and the...
She's just nuts. She has advantage on every
Yeah.
one of these rolls.
Look,
She's just.
Sheriff-
It's actually the
sheriff
sheriff
is
has
cracked.
disadvantage because she's too
right.
honest.
She's
If
too
she didn't
long.
have anything to hide, she wouldn't be rolling. I'll tell you that much.
Learned that in Ohio.
Well,
It's specifically
She
yes.
is. She is. You can tell that she's concerned about something. She doesn't look just like afraid necessarily.
There's something that's got her mind busy that she's like.
Yeah, like she's preoccupied and she sort of wants you to just get out so she can get back to it. But like, you don't get. She's not like over here like trembling and just like terrified of what might happen. She's just sort of.
She was shuffling a bunch of papers before I moved in. Can I see anything that's out in the open that's like hidden underneath?
Her desk, sorry, and I'm really bad at like giving the full description of. That's like my weakest quality as a DM.
It's a
but-
lot to.
Yeah, I even now at like, you know, when you ask like how old she is, I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't describe this character whatsoever. That's fine. We'll work on it. That's why we're here.
exactly.
Her desk is totally clean. There's nothing on it except like a empty white paper with a pen next to it in case she needed, presumably in case she needed to write anything down while she talked to you.
Okay.
But there are no notes or anything out on her desk.
Okay. Well, then I'm just gonna give her a look of like, if there is something going on, we're here for you kind of thing.
Well, I'm gonna say.
And then she's like, all right, well, I guess we should talk to go to the place first or go to the...
Let's go to the place first.
Scene of the crime.
But last thing, Sheriff, if you think that whatever has your attention taken away from this has any connection to what has happened, or any thoughts that would be, well, you know where to find me.
Of course. I appreciate it, and I will, of course, let you know. If that happens, I will obviously pick up the investigation of the robbery myself.
All right.
I walk away.
Whip my hair.
I whip my hair back and forth and leave.
And it goes like this because you have the mohawk. Right.
Do you have a mohawk?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not like a super high.
No, you have like this cool, like,
shaved on the
one,
sides.
right?
Yeah.
You have like the dwarf,
like a
in like
Mr.
one
T.
of the like metal video games, basically,
Yeah.
where they have like the like ring and the like cool like.
Actually, it's
shaved
kind of
top.
similar to my Pokemon Unite person's hair that I picked.
Oh, okay.
Sick. Well,
Love it.
amazing.
All right, so you all head over to Dave Fortan's home.
Can you turn the music down a teeny bit?
Oh, yeah. It's real quiet over here.
Got him.
It's not that hard over here.
I think that camera needs to be turned a little bit towards me more.
I think that camera needs to be a little bit turned towards me more.
Well,
I think both cameras need to be pointed straight at Lenny.
That's it. No, well,
It'll be a really
Yeah,
weird
that,
stream.
that one
but-
can go to the left. Just yep.
so I might have zoomed a little bit, but it was to get
That's
the
good.
That's
lamps
Yeah,
out of the camera
That's
shot.
probably why it was where it
It's-
was.
Oh, probably yeah. So maybe
Maybe I move.
don't bump the camera.
I'm trying not to.
Bang.
I bumped
Good.
the foot.
Mini earthquake.
Feel that? Yeah.
So it actually the light being in it like throws off the
Yeah.
shot, but like it doesn't mess. Like you can still see everything, so it's not a big deal.
And now we can role play earthquakes. We just have to grab the camera and
Yeah.
We're gonna do it under the table though, otherwise we'll be in the shots.
So you said big house. How big?
Big house. So it is.
Castle Enter Estate.
It is not super obviously, but like it doesn't take long to realize that like one, as you walk, you are in the. Sorry, give me 1 second. I actually have this. I kept it out a little bit.
So, and while we're walking, I'll be like, so how's it been? Well, with you like behind us, but not worried about him hearing
Yeah.
because he's kind of aware that we all think he's a little.
A little sussy box.
So how's it been? How's he been? You been okay?
Same as he's been.
Still good?
No different.
No problems?
He doesn't still live with me. I just found him.
Oh, okay. I thought that you were crashing with him.
I crashed him for a couple days, but it's been like a
Oh,
couple months since then.
Alright.
I probably still check in with you every so often, but like
okay.
I've spent most of my time like in the shop.
you work with Riss or you work with
Reese.
Wait, that's-
There's an engineer in town named Common Derelict, who's a sort of young. He's actually younger than Jordan by a little bit.
It's not weird.
How's the hunt been going, Grunt?
what time of year is it?
It's sort of
Because that very much informs my answer.
yeah. It's in kind of a damp. Again, I could have explained this anytime you walked outside. Didn't. So outside today, we'd be at about noon at this point. So like kind of the hot point of the day, and it's still kind of chilly. We don't get much like full on snow winter in Corette, but it gets pretty cold. You'd all be probably wearing like long sleeves or like kind of an insulated clothes at this point. It also gets pretty damp. usually up until like just before noon, there'd be like a low fog in town, and depending on where you go in the region, that fog can be pretty persistent through most of the day.
Well, with the weather being as it is,
Chilly Ireland.
conditions seem fine. Then I get, a few miles out of town, fog rolls in, can't see shit. My clothes get wet, soaks through, gets cold. I get cold. I gotta come back without nothing. So it's been awful, but just bad luck lately more than anything.
Shame to hear.
Finding tracks, but can't get close to the damn things and see them to shoot them if they hear me way before I get to them.
I'm sure it'll turn around soon.
I'm hoping.
You generally pull in quite the haul.
Yeah, on average. But, got the upside jobs like this once in a while when things are slow.
Yeah, man, hopefully this pays.
If it pays, yeah. Like this, not necessarily saying this one will pay.
So yeah, you would head to the northeast sort of corner of town, and you know that to be one of the two spots where there's some nicer houses. And so as you look around at a couple of these nicer houses, it's very clear which one is like the biggest and nicest house, and it is Dave Fortin's home. Like I said, basically every structure is like low stone house. The city hall is one of the few 2-story buildings with a tiled roof. This is also a 2-story building with a tiled roof. Tile is also, clay is not like uncommon, so you can fire some like roof tiles pretty consistently, but it's not nearly as easy as the thatch that they make out of the sort of moss and algae material that they gather from the Vertlock, or the sort of grassy material from the plains to the east. But maybe more notably is that rather than just stone, there are large sort of wooden timbers supporting the corners of this house, which for us is like, why would you use wood instead of stone? But for you all seeing it, it's just very impressive seeing this like kind of exotic material being used in such a, there's wood around. You use wood, you have wooden wagons and wooden sort of shelves and furniture and stuff, but to see like full on like timbers supporting part of a house is like pretty impressive.
Extravagant.
It's marble of this area.
Yeah, it's partly too just the fact of a lot of the wood you see is smaller branches and stuff, and this is a
somebody
trunk.
felled a 50-foot tall tree to get a trunk
And
to
like
shave it down.
hauled it over
Yeah,
here.
imported it,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a sight, and yeah, you walk up to the door, and the door actually has this like tile mosaic on it, which after running Tomb of Horrors gives me flashbacks because everything in that dungeon is either greystone or tile mosaic. But there's like sort of a tile mosaic decorating this door.
Well, could you touch one color and then the other color?
Right. So this is
the other one.
this is
Hey,
every conceivable.
A silvery mist appears in front of you that you cannot see through. You feel compelled to walk through
Guys,
it.
Oh,
It's fine. This is the obvious
Whoop,
way.
I'm
We
naked.
have to find the other secret door
I'm naked and I'm a lady now. Okay.
because that's the right way. All right. So who got the key?
I'll unlock the door.
Sure.
I've got the key.
Well, okay, before unlocking the door, let me take a quick look at this. I know that people have been in recently, but I'm going to look and try and look like really closely.
Can I assist him?
And because,
Yeah.
I am...
How are you assisting him?
I've got a small magnifying glass that drops down from the headband. That just helps me find small. Like I use it to like work with small gears, but
Sure.
Because I am familiar with the process, I'm like looking for like even like the minute indications of like tools being used to like cleanly open this door without a key.
Yeah. So the door's lock mechanism is, as you might expect, on the more advanced side. It actually looks a little bit more like our modern key and tumbler, and the key you have has multiple teeth on it, rather than many homes in the area, if they have locks at all, are either just wooden bars, or might be, like a 2-prong sort of just old style, like has like, a 2-spring tumbler system. This has, like pretty long key with like 7 pins to it. Like it's a heck of a lock from what you've seen.
Expert difficulty. We break a lot of picks in it before you get lucky and get it right.
Yeah, so you're basically just looking for like shattered pieces of pick in the lock.
Sure.
So yeah, you take a look at this. Go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
12.
12?
Yep.
Yeah, so
With advantage.
looking at it, you don't... You see some signs of wear, but you don't notice anything particular that screams like... Especially not like 4th century. No one was like battering at this lock, especially trying to break it open, and you don't notice like, say, more scratches than you would expect to see from like someone who's maybe going at it with a pick and just like scratching it all up.
Sure. And looking at like the windows, I guess I could look at them when we get in. So I'll open the door at this point, unless anybody else wants to look at this.
Is there like a backyard or like even like a palisade, like fence or like an enclosure part, or is it just the house is the property?
How close is the nearest house?
Yeah, so there are houses, probably about 80 or so feet away, and there is a low white stone palisade that wraps around the backyard. And in the backyard, you actually notice some trees and bushes like popping up over the wall.
I'm gonna go hop the fence and look in the backyard.
I'm looking with you for tracks.
Sure. The top of the fence looks really nice, and then when you go to like sort of put a hand on it to hop it, you realize it's actually kind of sharp. So if you want to do it, you'll need to make a dex save. You might end up cutting yourself a little bit.
I accept.
You have the key, right?
Dex save.
Mm-hmm.
So
I guess
you-
we could
you
go-
and
It's
will
low
do-
enough, and you're strong enough that
I also question.
you'll be able to jump over
We
it.
could
It's just a
skip
matter
it.
of you might
Yeah,
cut
That's
yourself.
what I'm saying. I think maybe not.
Can I athletics check?
No,
to
we
one
can
hop
do
it. Oh, no. That is a solid 8.
8. Yeah. So you sort of
My good saves.
do kind of a 1-2 jump, put a hand up, put a foot on there, and go to hop over, and you just like cut a little scrape along your leg. You're gonna take 3 points of slashing damage.
Oh my
That is 20% of my life.
Yeah.
Do you do that 4 more times?
Tetanus.
You didn't scrape your
It's
arm.
really hard
You
to have any
actually-
amount of damage that's not almost killing you.
You actually just lacerated your arm.
Do that 4 more times and you just die.
Sorry. You actually cut like up here, right along like a major artry.
Right.
And
that's
if
bad.
that's not
Barbed
biologically
wire.
correct in a human, it is in a Goliath.
There you go.
Well, I'm gonna unlock the door while he hops over.
Everybody else just insight checking stuff. I'm getting massacred by a fence.
A fence that didn't need to be jumped over because we can go through the house to get
I
to the
see
backyard.
I see him almost die from that. I'm like, I'm gonna walk around.
Sam almost died from it. It is now a white stone fence with a line of red down it.
Don't mess up the tracks.
It's just like, yeah, whatever spike, like I hop over and the last little spike just like catches up under my like breastplate just enough like in the back. I'm like, oh, sure.
I like to imagine that along with it, it throws off your fall and you just sort of like hit the ground, and being a Goliath, it's like, like, it's
Not my most graceful landing,
Yeah.
but admittedly, for like a 7'5" person, I'm like real athletic, like how LeBron is like athletic 6'8" kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's It's a lean 7'5".
It's a lean 7'5".
It's a
It's
muscular something.
Right, it's a lean 7'5", 300 pounds.
You know, who's a lean 5'5"? Not me.
All right.
You're
So
leaning
you
right
you
now.
unlock and go in the front. You've
Sure.
hopped into the back. Let's take this minute to take a break.
I'm gonna break you.
Come back to it in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Thank you for the sub, Austin.
Oh shit!
Appreciate you.
We'll
yeah, we
be
did.
Back. Whoa. We're back.
Whoa.
See, now I have to like unmute the mic every time we go back to standard, though.
Well, we don't think that's what was happening, do we?
It's we'll
I
figure
logged
out
in and I didn't hear it. We'll check it later.
post
Okay.
session.
So what you all missed, we were talking about maybe turning the camera to portrait mode so that my whole beard could fit in it. Subscribe to vote in the
And remember, if we get to 500 followers, I read my 10th grade English poetry on stream.
I'm
As
with
part
you
of
on
the
that.
DDLC
I'll find them and do it.
Share this stream. Do it.
How much does it cost to buy followers?
What?
Yeah, we're 20% of the way there, which
That's true.
I'm really surprised.
True.
about. Like
That's true.
Like
We
I
are.
was said, I got a
What-
wave of nerves.
There might come a day where we actually have to do it. We're just like, why did we promise this?
We had
No
to-
one cared at the time.
DDLC.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We do have to finish
We will
that.
finish that.
Anyway, so
I might have one too. I just hope I don't know where it is.
let's start with you all. The three of you entering into Dave Fortun's mansion from the front of the home.
Can I have Stone's endurance to my fence wound?
Yeah.
In the grand scheme, that's a lot of health. So
Yeah, I mean, it was a stone, so you can endure it, sure.
that's fair.
What does Stone's endurance read?
It's a reaction.
Stone's
When I take damage, I can use my reaction to reduce the damage by a D12 plus my con modifier. So as long as I don't roll a 1, I can just not be hurt. 4. Okay, I'm
There you
good.
go.
Wow, that blood just
But so
disappeared.
for the next 6 seconds, you do not have a reaction.
Duly noted.
Heads up.
I shoot him. I shoot him.
Okay, you're fine.
Everyone.
Everybody runs away from me in that moment. Okay, good, he can't hit me.
I just sense that you can't hit me right now. Because you didn't get cut.
Based on
Magic missile this!
based on a game I played in an alternate
Shield
reality,
this.
I know you can't hit me right now.
I did. There's. I really liked. That's fine.
Yep, we'll get. Yep.
We'll probably get to that
Yep.
eventually.
Yep.
So as the three of you walk in, you see just a really luxurious, great hall sort of space in front of you. There's a candelabra hanging from the ceiling with over a dozen tallow candles set in it. Actually, no, I'm sorry. There would actually be so there would be a candelabra with candles in it, but there's also light bulbs strung up along the ceiling, 4 of them in the Great Hall, which is like extremely uncommon. So
Are they incandescent?
yeah.
Neon.
Uh,
Right.
Neon.
How do we turn these things on?
and there are still windows, and it's middle of the day, so there's still quite a bit of light coming in.
Corvette appears out of nowhere with machine guns in the...
But yeah, there's sort of nicely worked tables on either side, just sort of displaying with like a cloth laid over each of them. Normally, you would expect to see sort of trinkets displayed, and on one there's a few books, but the other is bare, and the asymmetry catches your eye. The asymmetry catches your eye, and it looks a little. The cloth on it looks a little disheveled, and you suspect that there might have been items on it that are no longer there.
Yeah. Specifically a bear.
Specifically, there.
It's the bear table.
What else is there metal there? It's a
few,
bear table.
There's a few other sort of wall hangings
Maybe porridge.
going forward, and then at the front of the hall there's a spiral staircase going up to the second floor.
Would I have ever been in here before?
You probably have.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure I would not know, like, be familiar with the layout of the place, but been in it.
Yeah, he's hosted a few. He's not like a really big socialite, but he's hosted a few like dinner parties and that sort that you would have probably gotten invited to a couple of.
Yeah.
You haven't been Mayor's Aide for a long time.
Sure.
You've probably been here once or twice. The other 3 of you, well, the other 2 of you that are currently in there, probably haven't.
I've been in this backyard
I
before.
mean, I probably had dealings with him just to sell stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, but probably not at his home.
Where would I have done that?
He would have like an office.
Oh, okay.
Can I look at
Or
the
just
windows?
like at an inn. Sorry?
I want to look at the windows. Do they open? Do any of the first floor windows open? Or are they all like
Painted.
just panes?
They're just panes.
Okay.
You,
I thought they were windows.
Use Stone's endurance helps with that.
Reese.
Went to set the window in the stone wall and it just didn't go.
It was a pain.
Do
Stone endurance.
one lap around the stone fence to see if there is blood where lesser individuals may have been injured in climbing over it.
Not you, obviously.
Clearly
but-
not.
You could have had because you felt it scrape you.
Right.
You're just tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your skin is leather.
You were just like,
Flex.
Go ahead and make a and so I will admit to the players in the whole of the internet that one of the things I'm really bad at is like spotting the difference between like perception and investigation. So if I ever tell you one and you're like, I think it should be the other, I'm happy to hear that because like honestly I'm probably really inconsistent about it. So with that in mind, we will call this perception.
Okie
I agree with this decision.
I also agree. 11.
11.
What's your bonus to investigation? Just out of curiosity.
0.
Oh, so it wouldn't have been any higher. Okay, it's perception for sure.
Confirmed.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely a perception.
I've
check.
never investigated before in my life, but I perceive a lot of shit.
Thank you, Lenny.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so when you come into this backyard, you notice it's pretty nice. There's quite a bit of plants, and like plants aren't necessarily uncommon around town, but like there's some obviously exotic plants that aren't from the area, like really big sort of colorful flowers that you're not used to seeing. Some taller trees and different shrubs lining the edge of the yard just to give a little extra privacy, and so you're not necessarily just seeing this like stark stone wall surrounding it. And there's some different like benches and seating areas and like paver stone walkways going and weaving in between some of the different foliage. So to run around the fence, you realize now would have probably been easier from the outside, but now you're here and you're a little worried maybe to jump back to the other side. So as you sort of navigate the different plants and shuffle through to like take a look, you don't see any blood trickling down. And again, it's a white stone fence, and so the blood shows up.
Right.
What you imagine the blood would show up pretty well on it. Not that you've seen any such
Of course, no. I can just imagine very vividly what it would look like if some idiot tried to jump this fence poorly.
and like lost half of their life.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good fence, fools.
Yeah. Buy themselves all those stolen goods.
And yeah, otherwise I would just see if there's any tracks or anything, and then if there's no signs of like particularly fresh tracks that look deep, I would just go and see if the back door is unlocked.
Sure. Go ahead and for that roll investigation.
5.
You got a
you
regular
don't-
Sherlock Holmes over
So here's
here.
the thing.
We've had some
it's
hot
that
rolls.
seat.
Oh no!
That's like, I don't know what else to
You
tell
know, I really think we should rethink the seating for
Shuffle
Antero. I'm
it,
actually
right.
not a very loud person.
Right. Caleb's just gonna sit here.
Come again?
Oh, sorry, Lenny.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna make sure the back
Cool,
door
break
is
it.
locked.
That's true. I'll sit there and just roll d6s. That seems to work pretty
Yeah.
No,
well.
we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you
I need to
roll
stop
your,
rolling on this.
stats
Right.
in that
Roll
seat?
everything.
Yeah, I did.
That seems like the D6 seat.
Yeah, well, not anymore. I used it all up.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, Kevin, is you can roll high, just not when it matters in that seat.
Exactly.
That's true.
And
No, we're bringing it back. I'm good now.
I'm gonna go open the back door in case it's not already unlocked, so I can go
Sure.
up with him.
As you look around, you don't notice any tracks. Or I guess you notice some, but it's also like this guy's backyard.
Yeah.
So you don't notice anything like big footprints in the flower beds or anything where it's just like, why is that there? Just it looks like normal traffic.
Okay. Is the back door unlocked?
I'm unlocking it if it's not.
Not quite yet.
Okay.
Now it is.
When you scoured the whole back fence by the time it took me to get to the back door.
You were just admiring
The chandelier.
the interior.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, so you would have also. So it's not. You don't. You're in the main hall. You don't. It's not just like the back door's right there. You would have to actually like navigate your way through his living room
Okay.
Jordan,
to the backyard.
You're good with tinkering and the finer details, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a hand in looking at this? Clearly something was taken here. There used to be a bear.
Definitely.
Um,
I mean,
As it is a bare countertop, so...
is that what you guys store on tables? Bears?
Just give it a look.
Like a bears.
I feel like you would have come from a place where there would be a lot of people that like make jokes like
well,
that.
no, there definitely are.
That's just what I took you at. I just
the
took you
the
as
thing
that
is,
kind of person.
I don't know if
That's
you're making
kind
the
of the
same
people
joke.
that I.
This is a new. I'm just trying to.
You do remind me of somebody I knew back in Ohio, though.
What the hell's in
It was a
Ohio?
good joke. It was a really good joke.
I don't need your confirmation.
I'm gonna go look at the table.
It's all Alice in Wonderland. You're in the new world, but like all the characters are people that you knew in the first world.
Exactly. I'm gonna go. Yeah. Can I see what? So especially like thinking back to the list that the sheriff gave us of like family heirlooms, gems, jewelry, maybe like a dining room set, flatware. Like see if anything left imprints or like dust on the table that would lead me to know what was on the table before it was barren.
Sure. So trying to like match up the stuff on the list to like the spots there. Yeah. So as you're looking, you are able to make a few connections. Go ahead and roll investigation.
18.
18.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So you would be able to parse through like quite a bit of that list. So like. We'll say you start with, and you can go through kind of however many rooms you want. On the main floor, you come in, and it's the main hall. Specifically on that table across from the books, you would notice a sort of an oval imprint, and there's like just a drip of wax off to the side, and you notice on there that there's like a candelabra listed. That most likely got taken, and then you see like four little feet set, and you notice a couple things on the list that it could be. There's like a like statue of a dog, a clock, and a couple other items that could kind of fit that like marking, and just with what you're seeing, it's impossible to tell really what it might have been. And then those are the only two pieces that you notice really in the entry hall. And then as you go into the living room, you could continue to sort of parse through, another few items. And if you want to do this across, like, do you want to like sort of go through the whole first floor trying to like...
Yeah, Jack, do you want to come? I think we're onto something here. You want to help me look through the rest of these rooms?
What have you found? Have you found an indication of somebody, fingerprints or anything of that sort?
Not yet, but just cataloging.
Why?
Things that were gone. But just to make sure he's telling the truth about what was stolen. If we find things that aren't matching up, then we know he might have been in on that.
Fair enough.
Back in Ohio, they had this thing called insurance for.
It's crazy.
Insurance frogs.
But no, still nothing.
Insurance.
No signs of.
They would have
frogs.
insurance here.
Sounds like a predatory... What?
They would have insurance here. A merchant would So a merchant would definitely have insurance on his like travels.
Sure.
And
I'm gonna look at the
But
bookshelf.
it's known as Insurefly.
So there is insurance. Is it a thing in the world or no?
Right?
Yeah.
And there.
Look at the bookshelf.
I could be wrong. I think it's actually a pretty old concept, just not necessarily in the way it was like felt more like gambling originally. Now it's sort of abstracted away gambling.
What?
Hey,
Insurance.
hey, Jag.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a secret door behind a bookshelf before?
Oh yeah.
You said there's a bookshelf, correct?
So
I
there's
missed that.
in the entryway there is a bookshelf, but it's like it's a small table with like 4 books. However, as you walk around the first floor, there is immediately so you walk in, door first to your right.
Yep.
There's a library in there.
I'm gonna start.
Well,
Yeah. Well, no. Okay.
hold on. I want to look at adjacent rooms to said library and see if it seems like it would be spatially possible for this wall to not be... Basically, are there shared walls with the library?
Sure. This is why
That's a good
roll
roll
for
for That's
architecture.
definitely worth checking first.
There's just a wall in the room next door. He's like pulling bookshelves off. I come around the corner. I'm like 3 feet from you. So like, if this opens, it goes into the room that I'm in, right?
secret door. It's just
Yeah, it was-
next to the original door.
It's just like if he doesn't want to go out to the hall to
Right.
get to the other
He
room,
gets
he's just
parties,
like,
yeah.
He gets through the books.
He's like, I've got a
to
secret
change the
door.
flow of the house a little bit.
He gets to the books.
for
It's like
sure.
It's a
wood-
feng shui.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a wood panel. He rips it off the wall.
If
Look,
yeah.
there's a doorway to the next room. No, you just took the wall apart.
If Mercury's in retrograde, he has to have the door open, or else the whole house is off.
Well.
Huh. Weird. Twitch fixture app for iOS.
What happened?
Just,
We're arguing over.
there was no argument.
There was argument.
There was one person who was right and showing you that it was the case.
That ended up being the case. That's how all arguments end. One person's correct.
It wasn't an argument.
That's true.
It was a statement of fact.
It was 2 statements. It was 2 separate statements.
Okay.
That was an argument.
So that was
That was
that
the previous aspect
Well,
wasn't
that's
an
a good
argument. It was
point.
one person thinking one thing and the other
Yeah.
and immediately being proved one way or the other.
Okay, so the library you would see, so initially just sort of like very obvious information as you kind of walk around. The library's in the corner of the house, and right next to it is the study.
Share
And
a
then-
wall.
Yeah, share a wall, and then so 2 walls are the outside.
Yeah.
The other wall is the study, and the last wall is to the entrance. That's the
Yep.
foyer.
So spatially, does it look like any of the walls that have bookshelves on them could even have a door? I don't think so.
What if one of the bookshelves is covering a trap
It doesn't.
door?
It doesn't
sounds
sound
like it's right
that.
here, and then this is the study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't
So
sound like that.
Well, let me think. What kind of skills do we have that might,
Technology.
Wait.
It does, like, it feels a little like technology, but it's not.
Sounds like an intelligence check.
This does sound like an intelligence check.
Intelligence. Yeah, this is one. What I want to do better
Magic
at
of
is just sort of, in a case like this, just an intelligence check. If you had like a background in like structural engineering, I would let you add. I want to try to like let you add your proficiency when applicable.
I am a sneaky burglar thief boy, so
I'd like to roll.
Oh, really?
Religion? Dear God, is there a secret door?
I do have proficiency
19, alright.
with
That's
thieves'
the
tools.
trap of the chair.
So one would think that if there are secret
Can't be
things,
this
I'll
way.
give that to you. I'll let you add your proficiency.
dope.
I'm not a DM who can't be convinced.
Natural 20.
Oh!
So 20.
2 at least.
I mean, 2 if I'm just adding proficiency. It's intelligence. 2 if I'm adding proficiency and intelligence. So 22.
I forgot he was sneaky boy.
22.
Ish.
He's also snarky boy on occasion. But
Only when you want.
Only when I'm on the job. Listen, I'm down to business. I'm down to party when it's not. I'm definitely I'm most likely the most charismatic here.
Oh, definitely better than me.
You can only match me at
That's
best.
true.
At best, you can match me.
So you're looking to see if there's enough space in the walls
For it to be possible for there to be like a hidden passageway or anything there.
So between the library and the two rooms, it doesn't look like there'd be enough room. Like there's walls maybe that thick,
Yeah.
right? Like could you theoretically like squeeze in there? Yeah, maybe. And there's a bookshelf there, but the books do go back to the wall, and you can imagine the walls between the library and the other rooms are about as thick as the walls we'd have here.
Yeah.
Maybe you could squeeze through them.
So
but
there's no secret walls here. There's no secret doors.
None.
You're
We're
probably
checking
not.
for traps.
The walls to the outside are quite a bit thicker. They're probably a
There's titans on the walls.
foot and a half or
Yeah.
so. They're pretty thick. That being said, so there could be a secret passage there. There's also other like pretty reasonable explanations like insulation that a nicer house would probably want to take advantage of.
Yeah.
Especially given the fact that the pillars on the outside of the house are big, thick timbers.
Yep.
You probably need a wall that sort of supports that.
Yeah. Are there bookshelves against the thick wall?
Yeah, there'd be bookshelves all the way around.
If you want to check, the only chance is this wall. It's probably not.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
We can check if you
No. We'll come if we can't find anything else. I will check every book. Like I promise you, I will check all the books. But
we
I'm
do.
curious about the books.
Can you imagine like being in a library and not checking all the books?
That's what I'm saying. Like
What do you do? Steal them?
do you? It's in. You've been around here for a long time. Is the sheriff like good at her job in finding like signs of thieves?
She's pretty excellent at what she does. It's honestly surprising that she asked us to look into this. Well, I should say this. It would be surprising if she asked me to look into it. It is extra surprising that she asked me and all of you guys to join me as well.
Right.
That should, to make it clear, that should indicate the sort of gravity of everything going on.
It's No, we gotta. It's best to just keep looking. It's definitely. There definitely were things taken from here. They were correct about that much.
We will finish cataloging
The house.
Yeah. So as you do, you would eventually go upstairs, and we can talk a little bit more specifically about that. But to sort of talk about the cataloging aspect, you check off about 90% of the items on that list. The issue is, or probably not even that many, honestly.
Right.
Probably
It's like
probably like 60% of the items. But a lot of stuff is jewelry or something where, if it was in a jewelry box, they're like, yeah, it might have been there, right? Like,
Yep.
if my wallet gets stolen and I'm just like, yeah, there was $200 in it.
It's like could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're pretty sure my wallet was stolen.
Yep.
Like, so yeah, there is, you don't notice anything like obvious on the list that you don't see kind of some evidence of.
Are there still small expensive things left in the house? Like other pieces of jewelry or
Go ahead and for that, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
the answer on a natural 20. If there was,
Oh.
he probably took it with him.
bounced off of a 19. It's a 5.
A 5?
6.
I took my luck.
Nothing really obvious. Books are not super common here.
Okay.
So the fact that there's there's a library, right? But there's also a lot of books in there. There's all this really nice furniture, but again, it's really big, really nice furniture. you don't go somewhere and steal the pool table necessarily.
Especially if it's got a slate.
Looking at the list of missing items, I'm trying to figure out if there's a theme to the missing items. Do all the missing items? They're obviously all expensive, but are they the items that you would expect things? Are they a list of items that the common layman would be like, okay, I'm trying to grab the most expensive things, and they just grab what they think is the most expensive, or is it a list of things that are actually the most expensive and doesn't include necessarily things you would assume are? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, so...
Did they case it well? Like, did they know what they were looking for?
Did they know what they were looking for? Did they know what was valuable? Or did they just like, well, that's a gem, it must be valuable?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Come on, viewers. Oops, doesn't count. What was it? Good. So, well. Hey, it's pretty good. 17.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so with the 17, you look over the list, and you do notice there's obviously, like, jewelry stuff, but like I mentioned, there's a few things that are a little bit, like, interesting choices to have taken. Like I said, there's this, like, sort of small, like, dog statue listed. It says that it was made of bronze, which is
Okay.
like somewhat rare, but not super rare. And there's a few other items. There's like 5 or 6 items on there that are a little more like not just outright obvious like valuable material, but like
They would seem
a little more
upper
unique
class.
or esoteric. You know, one of the things that the mayor mentioned is that he also had some like sort of heirlooms taken from him, and so some of these look more like something that might have been like passed down from like maybe it's more valuable because of the history behind it or something.
Like almost like taken. They took what they knew would hurt him the most, almost a little bit.
Could be, yeah.
Well, I mean, if they're going after what hurt the most, grabbing a bronze dog doesn't seem very effective, unless it was an heirloom of some kind, but
Right.
or it had some other like historical significance. But okay, I mean, that sort of makes it imply that maybe it wasn't an inside job, but
I would agree.
we still don't know for sure. Maybe there's so many questions still. Like who else had access? Does anyone have a key? Do we have confirmation he was out of town, or did he just pretend to leave and never actually left? Like if the carriage just leaves and he's inside the carriage and you don't see.
That's true. I feel like it'd be probably pretty tough to sneak back in, but it's definitely worth asking about.
Well, I mean, if you go under, if you, I might use my voice. I mean, if you come back in when it's like sort of night, then it can't be that hard. Just put some hood over your face, and
That's true.
you know everyone just kind of looks the other way.
Do the windows open and are they locked?
The first floor they don't open.
They don't open.
Yeah, Lenny.
I do want to track every door and every window, see if there's any scuff marks or window or everything locked.
Have we seen any signs of like?
So we haven't really done a. You've done a couple like kind of specific
Cursory
investigation
things? Yeah.
pieces. Why don't each of you give me like a sort of an area that you're just looking for anything out of place?
I will go to the study and library.
Okay. So there's the study and library. There's a there's the like the living room and lounge and bathroom in the it'd be like northeast corner of the study and library, or the southeast corner. Then there's sort of like the dining area, which is just the whole western wall, and then the foyer and living room, which is the center. Sort of divided up that way.
And can I say that I'm just casing the windows and doors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even the second floor, especially if it was like a balcony or something.
Sure.
Someone thought they were clever going up to a second floor window. I want to see if we can find anything.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, yeah, so go ahead and roll investigation on that.
I don't think I have a modifier.
Each of us, or you want to go one at a time?
We'll start with Drent.
Cool.
There it is. Yeah. 11.
We're doing like
11?
sweeps to see if there's any signs of like
So you don't notice anything,
things out of place
um,
or less obvious.
anything like broken into. Upstairs there are a couple windows that like push out, but they have like a
latch on the
like a
inside.
latch that clicks, and they all look to have been locked or fastened. But those are also
Like if you
you're like sort of handy enough and like
be something skinny in there. you
worldly
just kinda-
enough that you're like I'm pretty sure, Jaguar up here, he could break into this, and or even you could probably break into it if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
If I got up here,
Yeah.
that'd be the harder part. To do it without being noticed. Anyway.
Yeah, so it looks like there could be break-ins up here. You do notice like overall the house is pretty clean, but in the back door there's some like
Where he went out.
yeah, there's some like mud back there. It's not super surprising because there's a garden back there, but like it's a little dirtier back there, and it's the rest of the house, especially like this dude almost certainly has like a maid that keeps it, that might not live here, but like someone to come clean it. So it's just kind of weird that it's
I'm gonna go find
dirty.
a pair of his shoes and match the size of the shoes if they match the footprints
sure.
by the back door.
Yeah, so when you go upstairs, you go up the spiral staircase. Sorry, give me a second here.
How long have you been working with the mayor?
I don't know, however long you want.
You said not that long, so now I have to.
Longer than 6 months.
Not so you don't have like a like. I mean, in terms of like political careers, a long career is like 20 or 40
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
You're still. I got the impression that you were still kind of young.
Yeah, probably like.
We can also retcon anything I say about your character because it's your character.
Yes, probably early 20s, I would say. Yes, because that makes sense for why I would have been shipped, or why I would come here from my parents. Yes. A few years now.
Do you like it?
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's not exactly what... Why are we small talking right now? I mean, we can talk. I'm happy for us to talk. I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm just saying...
It just feels like
So,
it feels
You
like
and I haven't really had a lot of time to have a lot of conversations. So I forgive you. I have this thing. When I'm on the job, very focused on getting that done. However,
I see.
taverns are great. Great place for a conversation. I'll tell you anything. Well, I won't tell you anything you want to know. I will tell you some things
yeah.
that you're allowed to know.
Well, I very much respect that.
I love hearing about.
Ohio?
Yes.
Yeah.
I find it fascinating. Honestly, have you ever thought about writing a book?
I've thought about starting a lot of projects.
Ooh, right in the fields.
Many.
That tracks.
Yeah. That's another good one though. I've got a couple I'm working. I mean, I have a book that I write.
You
in.
clearly have an extremely creative mind. This Ohio, where you're from, is very detailed in your mind.
One of these days I'm gonna get, and I'm just gonna reach in my bag and pull out this little square. It's about this big. I'm gonna get this working at some point. and there are pictures on it. I will prove to you, it's real.
I mean, I can see that it.
No,
You're holding it.
Okay.
I mean, I get it. Listen, I get it.
I can explain it better with a few drinks.
Listen,
I promise.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to.
You didn't.
I didn't mean to
It's fine.
aggravate. I know there must be some degree of trauma or push, and I don't.
Which rooms are
mean
grouped
to
with the
do that.
bathroom for the investigation?
I don't mean
The lounge. Sorry, and I was trying to put together the upstairs for him to investigate.
Yeah, that's why.
That's
Sorry,
what-
that was.
That's
yeah.
why
I
we're
didn't mean to
shooting.
just cut that off.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
you were good. I was putting it together, so you were small talking, and then I actually got interested because I got on the track of like, if you have just like a black little square, like how impressive is that? Because it doesn't do anything, but also
Right.
it's like very clearly
Like aliens.
Alien.
sort of
Like,
like
yeah.
just a weird piece of technology or engineering that like doesn't make any sense.
I'm like. I mean, that is. It's gorgeous. I've
It's-
never seen.
that's a
anything
nice
as
square.
Smooth.
It's designed in
and-
California.
I don't know what kind of.
It's-
what.
It's designed.
First Ohio, now
Not
California.
I'm just gonna start throwing in like cities that are actually named the same names of states just to mess with you.
Exactly.
It was made in California.
Um,
Oh, really?
But listen,
I've been there.
That city, I've heard of it.
I apologize. I really didn't. I didn't mean to.
It's okay.
aggravate. I
Well-
know that something in your brain is really. It's rough right now. I know.
After
I know.
we're
I'm
just-
sorry.
We'll
I'm
focus
sorry.
on the job. Focus on the job. Job for now.
I mean, that's what I would like to do.
Yep.
Good idea.
So upstairs, as you sort of walk up the spiral stairs, the really smooth, polished wood that sort of curves up, and the carpeted staircase that as you walk up, the top is initially very open. It looks like it's almost like set up a little bit like a theater. There's like half dozen chairs kind of set up, and then there's a few like wall hangings on the left hand side, and then to your right there's like some stringed instruments that are set up against stands. One of the smaller stands is empty, and you would have noticed that there was a like a viola on the list.
Well, that's only from upstairs. They wouldn't have got that. That's strange.
But looking out towards so there are some windows that are facing basically in all directions, and that's where in the front of the house the sort of musical instruments and gallery are on the front side of the house, and you find windows that would open there, but there's not. It's a stone face, so like there's potentially ways to climb up that, but it's not like really like deeply set stone where it'd be very easy to climb. Like it'd be pretty tough to scale. You're pretty sure. Like you're not.
Unless you brought a ladder,
Yeah.
which seems pretty obvious, but
And there's enough.
people let you in anywhere for carrying a ladder.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, except here, like there's fewer ladders, just because less tall
All
buildings.
the more important. If someone's bothering with a ladder, it must
True.
be
Yeah,
something
must be a big deal.
big. Yeah.
So it's actually immediately behind you that his room is. So as you go back there, you do see a balcony that overlooks his gardens.
I definitely want to check that door,
it's a mimic.
Yeah.
which I already rolled for. But
What?
Yeah, so on that door you do see a lock. It's not as intricate as the lock on the front door, but this one you think you would have a tougher time.
it actually requires some skill to open.
Yeah, you would still have to pick it, and it's currently locked.
Okay. Any muddy footprints on that door?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Kobe.
20.
20.
Not natural.
No, it actually looks very clean. There was you did notice like a little bit of mud on the steps, but it's very clean upstairs.
This is, again, with the footprints, do the footprints match the size of his shoe?
So you came upstairs to grab one of his shoes out of his room. You take one of his shoes, go back downstairs. Now being a little bit cautious, and like when you look and you get the light to hit it just right, you do notice like more than you saw before. There's like dried, like you notice a few like spots of mud, but then when the light hits it just right, you do notice like kind of a footprint, like in really faint dried dirt.
Right. Just the vague outline of one.
Yeah, and when you hold the shoe up to it, like initially you're like, okay, yeah, this is his shoe, because that's just kind of what you're expecting. But like
different footprints.
when you put it really close, the shoe that you have is just a little bit too big. So you actually go up, grab another of his shoes just to see. And you kind of think to yourself, like, this guy has 5 pairs of shoes, and that's insane. So you grab another piece, like one of his shoes, and you realize, like,
and just come downstairs holding one of 5 different shoes.
Like, his shoes are like obviously custom made for him, and they all have like are very similar sizes. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't. It becomes apparent pretty quick that for a footprint to be like this much smaller than his shoes are, like he's not getting a shoe that fits him that tight.
He's not getting a shoe that fits him that. Oh, okay. Yeah. And is there only, if there are multiple perpetrators and they all have the exact same size foot, that's one thing. But there seems to be a pretty consistent size of foot that's not his. Is it maybe just one person?
Yeah. And maybe something that's even more telling is none of his shoes have dirt on them.
Awesome, fair. Okay, so I'm definitely sharing this information that it seems like whoever did this, assuming he doesn't have a gardener that has access to his upstairs bedroom, or where he keeps his instruments, came into the back door.
And also, Jordan would have found. I keep like checking your name on here. I'm like,
what's his name?
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. Okay.
We'll get there.
Ah, yes, Jordan.
Yes.
Jordan is Jordan. Yep, that's okay. Jordan would have. It's not just the viola that's missing upstairs. There's a few other things. I didn't.
That was an example.
I did not go through the comprehensive list because that is an exercise I don't feel like doing.
The exhaustive list, if
Yeah,
you will.
that-
Get there.
Yeah.
My official plan.
So it seems like it's one person.
Exhaustive list.
Calling that eventually.
If there's more than one person, they waited outside and they came to the back door. Did you find anything on the back door out there? There's mud on there. Maybe you and I take a second look, because they tracked mud in the house, so wherever they walked through some muddy area. So maybe we just look again. I don't know. Maybe we can see where they jumped over the fence on the other side and where they landed. Maybe they left indentations where they landed, or I was also thinking about canvassing just the entire area to see if there were any. I mean, if he's running with a bunch of gems and necklaces, maybe something got left behind. There's a bunch of small pieces. Who knows? And for you, I'm wondering if you want to ask the neighbors if they saw anything. You know,
I can check with them.
mayor's aide, walking around, asking questions, better than.
I can check in with him.
People like me. I'm just really talking.
Yeah, I like you.
Nice
It's
guy.
just, yeah, you're just intimidating. That's all.
Me too, Kevin. Me too.
Also, nobody could get over that back fence. No, it just wouldn't happen.
Maybe they.
It's quite sharp.
Maybe if they came prepared, maybe they like threw a piece of thick leather over it so that they could jump over.
Makes mental note.
I'll go.
Thieves being thieves. Yes.
This thief is made of thieves.
I'll go give them. I can't say a buzz. That's not right. I'll give them a knock.
Maybe there's doorbells.
No, there's not.
There's electricity.
Not in the.
I mean, there might
office.
like.
He's gonna go over and he's
Like
gonna grab
natural
their
bell.
knockers and he's
Yeah.
gonna.
Whoa, we can't just grab people's knockers.
And I'm the mayor's aide.
Mayor's business.
Oh, you really can't grab the mayor's business.
No. That's a good way to.
Get executed.
Yeah.
You'll certainly die. I hear she has an aide.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So you're going to neighbors.
Sure.
Neighbors?
You are upstairs.
Is the floor of his house wooden or stone?
Stone, and there are some running carpets.
Catch them.
I'm not even gonna say it.
You looked at me and I'm like,
It's fine.
go ahead and make dex checks, all of you, to see if you can catch a carpet.
Bet.
I dash. Roll initiative.
22.
Nope. It's real fast.
That's a new emote. We gotta write down. Running carpet.
It's gonna be like a carpet with like arms and legs.
Except it's still obvious I just stole it from Aladdin's flying carpet.
That's fine. If you slap
So
an
original.
PNG on there, that is original content.
Yeah.
It's transformative.
Oh my god.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyway, stone floor. Carpets that are pausing.
No joke that is too low for us to grab.
None lower than that carpet.
So I'm just gonna I'm gonna walk over the carpets and basically just like stomp a little over each of them to make sure there's not just like, you know, wooden trap doors or something that's not just more stone floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and make an. I'll let you make the call between investigation and athletics.
Oh, I'm way more athletic than
This,
investigative.
This athletics check brought to you by Ruggable.
Oh man, you said it as soon as it was a real roll.
I told you, dude. I sat there
my
for 3 years.
random ass practice rolls like 20, 19, 19.
Yeah.
4. So
Yeah.
for a total of 10.
The chair has to obey laws of randomness, but can still screw you over in spite of that.
Good thing I'm really athletic.
So what was the?
I'm literally just like
10.
checking
10?
out the floors,
Okay.
and 10 just to stomp on the floor
Yeah.
and see if there's
The way-
different floor under the rug.
The way I figure it is, you know, you're checking for a stud in the wall, right? And you can either very carefully knock and hear the echo, and that's sort of investigation, or you can just like bash your hand, and wherever there's a hole, there's not a stud, right? That's my idea of what you're trying to do. Is you're stomping hard enough that like something will crack, if it's not just stone, but you don't hear anything.
Okay. Shucks.
You all probably notice him like beating this floor.
Like an initiative?
What did you? Yeah. Did you see something?
You don't need to do anything about it if you want to. It's just it would be a
dance.
like it's a Goliath, just sort of like brr on this thing. It's I don't know.
I stubbed my toe. I'm
Yeah,
really upset about
it'd be
it.
kind of loud. It'd be a
wall.
commotion.
I'm gonna show
Run away from me.
that stupid wall. I'm gonna show this floor with spas. You and your stone brother had better look out.
Someone else wanted to do something.
I wanted to look at the study and the library. I messaged you what I'm looking for in the library, but I also want to look at the study for other things.
Side note, while I was looking around the house, any like available snack that was just out that I could get away with eating without being like him probably noticing may have found its way in my stomach or my pockets.
So you can, for now, you can tell me what it. If I find anything, you can tell me what it is later on. So you have to figure it out now. But
Okay. So for you in there, go ahead and roll investigation.
Oh, it was almost a 19.
so close.
It was like I'm gonna be a 19. It's like psych.
8.
8. Yeah, you don't.
Terrible.
I'll see. There's the computer. Just a little. I just kicked it just a
Loved
little
it.
bit. It's also like I
You
do
saw
kick
that,
it like
right?
on
was
the
about to be a 19.
Power button
I
side.
saw
on
it.
the
It was-
like
I went-
front
I
right
went
side
19,
where
and I was like,
the button is somewhere near
I
there.
was trying to figure out
Beyond roll if I've ever
It's
seen
like,
one.
like put some sort of protective thing I could put on it to block it, but I don't know what to do
Like a
there.
case, like a computer case.
The case for your case.
Yeah, basically.
Foot guard.
A wall.
Chocolate bag carrying bags. Chocolate bar carrying bags. So that can be for my looking It can apply to both, but that could be like for the first part where I look in the library, and then for the study specifically, I want to look at the desk, see if there's any locked drawers that were being accessed, or if there's any papers that have been shuffled.
Sure. So in the library, you don't really notice anything out of place. There are a few books like set on the table between two couches, but that's not.
Yep.
It's a library. Cool.
Yep.
When you go over to the study, the desk is a little disheveled.
Okay.
And there'd be 7 total drawers, one of which is locked.
So we're riding the fine line of just also robbing this guy by opening up his locked drawers.
I'm not with
Not if
you,
you don't take it,
sadly.
man.
That's true.
He's just, it was just a snack. It's not a big deal.
I will make a note of that too. Does it look? The lock looks equally complex to the other ones that are in the house, I'm guessing.
This one, so the front door was a pretty complex lock. The back door, you didn't specifically ask about, but you would have seen is a pretty complex lock. Like those are going to be the 2 main points of entrance. The desk drawer too looks like actually kind of what you would expect in a modern day desk. Not a really, you're not cracking a safe to get into it, but like you're either busting it open or like spending a little bit of time picking it to get into it.
I'm gonna try to break it open.
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
The thieves, they broke open your locked desk drawer.
It's crazy.
Crazy. Did you not have that on the list?
How
of
did
things
you
that were
miss
stolen?
that? Yeah, it's weird.
I can't wait to say that I left this person unchaperoned.
Can't believe it was tell him it was my idea to have you leave.
Remember that like super crazy guy that thinks he's from a different world? Yeah, I just left him alone in your house. Sorry about that. Bye.
And he destroyed your desk.
I would like to break it open carefully.
Wouldn't that be like?
To
Break-
not destroy it.
Break it open.
I would like to break it open.
I'd like to gently wield my crowbar.
I would like to break.
I'll try to
keyword,
break it.
What?
break
Okay, I was
it
gonna
out.
say
I'll
like
try to
it's
break it.
because if you want to break it open,
Yeah, no,
that's
I will try to
athletics.
break
If you want to break it open carefully, it could be sleight or like sleight of hand or even thieves' tools.
Ooh,
But
sleight of hand.
if you're okay breaking it open,
I'll try to pick it. That is the more correct. Oh my gosh. It was almost an 18, but it's
We're back, baby.
It's a
It's not
4.
the seat.
maybe it's just contagious.
Yeah, it's partially deceit. It's at least
Move over, COVID.
5.
5.
4.
The dice roll
2.
coronavirus.
Final offer 4.
Blast off. Shake.
Oh yikes.
The desk.
You
No.
crack it. You like crack the drawer a little bit, but it doesn't open.
Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna get poisoned. Huh. You know what? I should probably wait and ask Jack to deal with this.
Talks to himself.
Yeah, a little bit.
He says out loud.
Yeah. He says menacingly. trying to deception the desk into thinking I don't care about it.
I would like to intimidate this.
It's gonna let its guard down. I'll come back. Boom! Open that drawer.
I just stare at the desk for a long time. Roll intimidation. Natural 20. The drawer opens.
I'm the maniac.
I will go meet up with the other 2 members of the party in the house and just catch up on what they've been doing while Jack goes to the neighbors.
Is there anything suspicious in the bathroom?
In the bathroom and the sort of the lounge area, go ahead and give me investigation.
9. It's fine. I just don't have a modifier. It's not the dice's fault. It's not the dice's fault.
So, even with a 9, and it is the dice's fault if you roll less than 10. Even with a 9, after Drent noticed the footprints, you noticed kind of similar just not, and like we've been sort of saying like muddy footprints coming in, like there's a couple pieces of what is now dirt, but probably was mud at the time, and then like if you look just right, there's like sort of a dust in the shape of a footprint. Like it's pretty subtle. It's not. These
It's not
people
like,
weren't just
look, big oily footprint.
yeah. These aren't just people like stomping through the gardens and then walking in here and just like who
Who
cares?
stomps through houses?
You know, it's pretty subtle. It's not shocking that Sherriff, who has like other things on her mind, missed these, especially coming in from the back from the garden. But you do notice what looked to be a second set of footprints that go towards the lounge.
From the bathroom?
Sorry, from the lounge is so from the back door. Picture yourself walking in from the back door. You come into the living room. To the left is the lounge, and so the footprints sort of go through the living room into the lounge a little bit, and then the bathroom is off of the lounge.
Okay. So I'm going to go into the lounge, expecting to find a way to get to the conservatory. That was a clue joke. I'm sorry.
Oh no, sorry.
No, it's okay. I will follow.
I didn't have a clue.
I will follow the footprints. Clearly, Colonel Mustard.
Clearly. So the footprints go into the lounge and then just sort of fade there. They've
Okay, great about.
yeah, you don't really notice them like tracking through the lounge a whole bunch. At one point you do see like another little speck of dirt.
Just one spec.
But yeah.
It flips you the bird.
In the lounge, you would notice that, and in the bathroom, there were a couple items from the list that Jordan identified that are that would have been missing. So it's clear that someone came in here and took some stuff, but you don't notice anything like super out of place, any extra information.
Okay. So a lounge, I assume there's like furniture, couches, kind of. It's like a sitting room.
Mm-hmm.
I want to move all of the couches.
Just 1 inch.
No, like fully,
New quest.
fully out of their way.
Drive this guy on the
Are these couches made of gold?
He's gonna stub his toe
And
every
can I
day for
hack
weeks.
off an armrest and bring it with me?
No and yes.
I will not hack off an armrest, but I will move all the couches out of the way and see if there's anything under them.
Yeah, so they're
Aside from
not they're not like our couches where they're sort of like super low to the ground, and like they're a little bit more like bench shaped. So it's one, they're not super heavy. They're pretty easy for you to move. But yeah, as you move them and look around, you don't notice anything like any trap doors or any like photos of a thief's relative under there or anything like that.
My long
A locket.
rogue cousin.
A locket of the thief. Just his own picture.
Yeah,
Just
his
loves-
own picture,
He
right.
loves himself so
He
much.
ruined this one. He wrote his name, home address, and a list of his fears on the back.
I remember that joke. I laughed real good at that one. Jordan, would you like to have Jordan look for any sign of forced entry on the back door lock?
I would love that. Can I look? Can Jordan look at force?
You can say you can be in character.
Nah, I don't want to roll.
Jordan wants to know if somebody
game.
forced the back door.
It's a little too much.
Yeah, I know. I mean, your character sounds kind of weird. I don't blame
Yeah.
you for not wanting to get
I don't
like
wanna
too much
invest
into
too
his
much in
head.
it, exactly. I will go back to the back door, see if there's any kind of force entry around the lock or like the grounds right outside the door.
Yeah, go ahead.
14.
Uh-huh.
14.
I wasn't gonna say it.
You
But you said it.
You were the one that said it.
I wasn't gonna
It
say.
was you.
I wasn't gonna say the other part of it.
What other part of it?
Yes, anyway, 14.
Because of the implication, right?
Nobody knows what it means.
14. You don't notice any signs of forced entry. You did confirm with Drent that it was locked, and I guess Reese, because Reese got to the back door, and it was locked.
Yeah.
So it was locked earlier, and when you checked the lock, you don't notice anything. And the exterior lock here is actually pretty pristine because
When you go out into your backyard, you don't relock
right,
the door.
like you're not
lock
using a key to get into your own.
You'll lock yourself out of your own house.
Wait, how difficult?
If you have a fenced-in backyard, when you go outside, you don't turn around,
Lock
turn the
the door.
key in, lock yourself in.
Like
Literally
there's some weathering to it.
Yeah.
But like
No one
the
has
front
ever
the front
tried it.
the front door like had key marks on it from like a guy like missing with the key once a week for like 20 years, whatever. This doesn't. It's just sort of old.
Confirmed. He's been in business at least 20 years. He's an institution. We must protect him.
How difficult does it? Like, I'm gonna take a look at the key that we probably have since you left. I'm guessing you left the key with us, maybe. From what I remember, seeing the key at some point. How difficult do I think?
I wouldn't have
be
left
to-
it with you.
No, but maybe with one of them.
I would have left it probably with one of them.
Yeah.
If I was leaving the house, I wouldn't have left it with you.
How difficult does it look like it would be to make a copy?
To make a copy?
Yeah. Knowing what I know about like the engineering capabilities of this town and like
How much do you know about
I mean-
copying a key?
I know I've seen like Breaking Bad. I've seen I've seen Night at the Museum 1 actually. There's a scene where they copy a key in that.
All right. Well, do you have a little thing that has like clay for
Right,
you to
yeah,
press it into?
that's one way to do it.
Yeah, so you know that like it's not impossible to
Yeah.
copy a key. It is a fairly complex key, but at a certain point when you're copying a key, you copy it, right? So it can be like a 6-pin tumbler. You still just get the copy of the key if you were to copy it. Yeah.
Because we haven't seen any like signs of like a failed lockpicking attempt at all on the front door. We didn't see any sense forced entry anywhere. I'm trying to think of
Right.
like other.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Does the door that goes out to the back door from the inside? Does it unlock with the key, or does it unlock with like a turning mechanism? You need to operate by hand.
Sorry, say that again.
Like from the inside, if you want to go to the back door and the door is locked, do you need the key to open it, or can you just turn a latch or something?
You can just turn a latch.
Okay, so unlikely, but it's possibly somebody was hiding in here when
Oh sure.
when he left, and then he came out of hiding and stole stuff. But
Cameras would make.
But where
this
would he
so
hide?
much
There's
easier to
definitely not
solve.
trapdoors in this house.
well, not on the first floor anyway.
And then-
Yeah, but I mean the second floor ones would just
Right.
take you to the first floor again. So I don't really know that
Naked
easy.
trap door.
You're in the trap door.
I've been looking down.
No one
the
ever
trapdoors
suspects
all
the
day.
ceiling
I've gotta
trapdoors.
look up.
I don't. Also, I found
It's
the
just like the
lock-
bookcase to get to the room next door. It's just if you don't want to take the stairs, you just open the trap door.
Look, sometimes a merchant just wants his own pit trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Your first floor is already a pit.
Thanks, Schwob Life.
for the bits.
Cheer.
Appreciate that. So, I don't know if this is gonna. If you guys think we should open the drawer. I found a locked drawer in in the desk in the study. You guys think that's worth like? The thief probably didn't break into it and then relock it.
I doubt it. Was there anything reported missing that would be in there?
Maybe.
Well, and if they were really desperate to get into the drawer, there'd probably be signs of them trying to force it open.
Right. I did not see anything there.
So like I said, there's items on your list that weren't checked off, that you didn't like see obvious
Yeah,
things.
right.
But like when someone might have, if one thing was like his ring, that might have been in the drawer and got taken, but
Could be anywhere really.
yeah.
I mean, there's stuff that could be in there. So if you wanted to open it, we could definitely say like, hey, we were looking to see if there was a thing in here.
I mean, I'm not really a guy who wants to go through other people's business that much.
That's
I don't
fair.
know.
That's fair.
Truffle.
Yeah.
Truffle. I got like 5 more. There you go, thanks.
You have like
Are
5
they like
truffles?
chocolate or mushroom?
Chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are mushrooms.
Chocolate.
They're definitely not mine.
We already brought up the chocolate bag carrying bag. So that's anyway.
Perfect carrying bag.
Do I see any ceiling trapdoors?
Otherwise,
Make a perception check.
There's gonna be a 20. Oh, never mind.
Natural one.
You don't see any
You don't
ceiling
find a
trap
single
doors?
one.
Yeah.
The entire, it's all trapdoors in this one.
Aren't you guys gonna feel foolish when you find the trap door from the second floor?
You needed a 2. Like I don't know what to say.
Well, my total was a 3. I do have I am
Go try
proficient.
athletics up there. It's like Minecraft where you dig straight down.
I like jump up at every spot and like try and hit the ceilings. What? Do any of them sound hollow?
I was gonna say they're pretty tall. They're pretty high ceilings, but you're also pretty tall. So
He goes upstairs, does the same stopping trick to look for trapdoors, and then he's like, falls through. Did you find any?
This one.
Like, this one? Goes back upstairs, found another one.
no, he's just a crappy builder.
I wonder how Jag's doing with the neighbors.
Me too. I was
Me
just thinking
too.
that.
Jag, would you like to talk to the neighbors?
Absolutely.
All right.
I would love to.
All right. Give me a second.
God damn.
Thank you
I'll
guys.
just sit here and start talking to myself. I'm gonna roleplay with myself in the street.
Hello.
Excuse me.
I am a
you
neighbor.
roleplay with yourself somewhere else.
Well, yes, I have you, the burglar.
Yeah.
It's Jeff. Thanks.
Thanks. Get him, guys.
That was easy.
Wait a minute. Jeff is like, wait a minute, it wasn't me, it was Joe. He's the real one.
Guess
Joe's
we have to
over
kill
there.
them both.
Joe's over there looking over at his shoulder.
Would have gotten ready to pull a mask
Brooke is
off.
imagining
Going
exactly
back to
Jeff.
You knock on the neighbor's door, and he's just like he like answers the door, and he's just like decked out in all this jewelry and stuff, like exactly from the list. He's like holding the candelabra.
There's a
I didn't see anyone.
There's a bronze dog statue.
Yeah, outside the door.
Hello?
I swear, I thought I saw this thing move through a wall once. I swear. I swear it happened.
I wanted to find someone, and it went that way.
Anyway,
Okay.
welcome to Out of the Abyss Epilogue Edition.
Any of our campaigns will be.
We'll get it out. We'll
I'm
get
gonna
it
go
out.
shield surfing.
No, we
Realistically, he doesn't have one
won't, Jordan.
candelabra. He's actually broken it into several candlesticks.
Now that would be worth more. That absolutely.
It's 4 candlesticks.
All right,
It's not
how's
one
Jeff the
candelabra.
candle thief doing?
Knock.
All right. Oh my gosh, it's the first session back from a break. Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're still moving.
We're moving. That's true.
This is moving while laughing.
So you knock at the door, and man, well dressed, actually. A well-dressed wood elf with short-cut, sort of auburn hair, looks to be in his like early middle years, comes to the door. He's in pretty fine dress, but he is not holding a candelabra or a dog statue, unfortunately. And
It's not our guy. Move on.
Check his pocket.
Where's Jeff?
We heard Jeff.
Pull out like, where's Jeff?
You know you're operating.
That's sticking around.
says the mayor's aide, just like shaking down the street.
Useless.
He's in Ohio.
Not this again. All right. Hello.
Jag, what brings you here? And you would know this to be at St. Boreos. He's a shop owner in town, one of the bigger shops.
Hey, good day, Mr. Breos. So, I don't know if the sheriff has been by or spoken to you at any point recently, but I was curious. Have you seen anybody other than Mr. Defortain himself? Have you seen anybody around his home recently?
Well, I don't typically
Just imagine seeing you like through the window, stomping around.
try to
Jumping the
try
fence.
to be in other people's business, but I
Sure.
did just now see a rather large figure go into his back gardens. But I also saw you in the front, and
Yeah.
I had hoped that
Yeah.
if you knew about it, you had it handled.
Yeah. No worries. No worries about currently. Situations in hand over there. There's no problem.
Looks like he almost cut himself.
It's a close shave.
Is the Mohawk still there?
I've on the sides before. How does that happen?
Well, don't worry. Right now, we're looking into something on the behest of the mayor currently. What I was more curious about was, in the past couple of days, have you seen anybody in the area that just seemed to be skulking, or just somebody that you usually don't see around this part of town?
The robbery. The sheriff had mentioned something to one of my assistants at the store.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't heard anything. I also talked to Alzo a bit about it myself over at the Jeweler's Cove, where he's staying until things are sort of more in hand here. I'd hope to see the sheriff back to investigate. Is that what you're all doing?
First of all, insight check on if he had heard about it from the sheriff talking to an assistant.
Ooh, good one.
Sure.
Cash. Huge. Big time roll.
It's 14.
Yes.
It's not terrible.
14.
It's fine.
Yeah, seems like he did.
Okay. Listen, Jeff.
If that is your fake name.
Listen, Jeff.
If that's not.
Listen, Jeff Barrows.
My name is Adson.
We can always confirm that with Mayor later too.
This guy.
Yeah, I know. Mental note of that one. Well,
Take an actual
I think I said sheriff, right?
you did.
Okay.
You did.
He said we can confirm that with the mayor, and I was.
You're fine.
Or with the sheriff, sorry.
Well, she's still taking a look into things, but asked for my hand in giving it a second look over. I have a knack for a few of these finer details, and she's not exactly running a ship with a bunch of people underneath her. So, giving her a little bit of an extra hand on this one.
Sure. Yes, that's reasonable. If they're in need, we're all able to help out in whatever ways we can. But I'm sorry, but no, I know. I believe that Alzo had left that night. At least from what I had heard, I thought he mentioned that he would be on a trip around that time to Bantor, but I didn't see anything.
Understood. Well, I won't take up any more of your time than I need to. I appreciate the information. I'll let you know if there's anything else that potentially we could use your help for in looking into this, but I'll let you back to your rest of your day.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You could. I believe he has a sort of a assistant come by, keep his house clean, keep his landscape in shape. You could go talk to them, perhaps. Perhaps they know more.
That's what I was worried about.
I will keep that in mind. Thanks for the tip.
Absolutely. Happy to help.
And I move to the next neighbor's house.
Sure.
How many neighbors we got?
I don't know. Just two. You said there were a
Two
couple.
immediate. Yeah.
Yeah, so only
I was hoping
those.
that-
I'm not going around.
I was ready for 15.
I mean, you can keep going. I'll keep them coming.
Question everyone in town today.
I'm gonna question everyone until I meet one named Jeff.
Just lock them up, boys.
You.
Get ready for the long haul.
Oh man, you messed with the wrong mayor's assistant, Jeff.
Yeah.
I got a crazy guy in that other house. He will tell you about Ohio
Listen.
until you fall asleep.
Listen here,
They will
Jeff.
stop
You ever heard of the west side of Ohio?
No, I'm Dirty Dan.
This the Midwest tactics.
Exactly.
Midwest tactics.
Oh.
Have you taught Teach us the ways of the ranch.
Oh,
Just gonna sneak
excuse
past
me?
you.
Yeah.
So squeeze on by.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to inconvenience you, but if you could, let me get right. Just right.
Whoop.
Wait, why do you keep saying Jordan? Why do you keep saying ope?
It's
It's
a,
O.
It's a whole. No, it's
Oh.
not. It's
It's oh.
Oh,
Oh.
you go and you just spit a little bit of oh. Like as you scoop past them, you just spray them a little bit.
Oh my god!
Oh, what do you know? Both of them.
Incredible. We gotta find Jeff.
Good rolling when you're not
My name
having to roll.
It's just in the middle. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, you gotta stop it there because that now you reset it.
You can't possibly have another one after that.
That's statistically less likely now that you've rolled a
80
one.
sessions of so your average is already toast. So
Let this session be a bust and just let it go.
just you gotta. Oh my goodness.
I didn't roll it. It was an accident.
You didn't see the number, didn't
I
count.
didn't actually see what it was.
It didn't count.
Numbers Mason would have been.
So Drents, what do you hunt around here?
Oh, all the game, you know.
There's really fat goats.
Those plain bears.
Bring your price.
Just start making up
Nothing.
animals, and I'll just they're canon
No,
now.
Those badger moles.
Yep. Nothing. It's nothing.
When coming up with animals, it's really hard not to just avatar all over the place. And be like,
Badger bowls.
you know,
Those sky bison.
crocodiles,
Badger moles.
You just see my head start
Bat
to
dog.
explode. Like, no, it can't. Also, be.
Wait, we're also metaversing?
It can't.
You're just like trying to airbend?
Oh my god.
There's no magic, but maybe there's bending.
I see. Nobody's hit me hard enough to wake me up yet. That's got to be what this is.
Well, it's been 6 months. I know I declined the first time, but I'm thinking it's yes now.
I'm ready now.
We'll see. We'll see what we can.
I pull out the flail and just like
Just look at it and calculate. I'm like, man, there's no way I'm gonna make it through that one.
You pull out the flail. Yeah, Jordan, you're not very attached to this character, are you?
Just a little bit.
I don't know.
And then-
the personality seems pretty flat. The whole backstory seems real thin.
Super contrived.
while swinging the flail around threateningly.
It's true.
I like
owlbears is an
I like
example.
one step
yeah.
like fake it, and then I pull out the hand axe and whap you in the side of the head with the back of it. So it's just like blunt metal hit to the head.
Oh gosh.
That probably like knocks you to the ground.
Yeah, no, I'm on
like,
it. That.
Did you actually do that?
Yeah, no, for sure. The first thing I asked him to do was hit me when he found me to wake me up, and he wouldn't do it.
Go ahead.
Which
go
is a reasonable
ahead.
thing to do when you think a person's crazy and they ask you to hit them. Don't.
I do have the next neighbor for you.
You're good.
Once we get
No,
there.
you're good.
Go back to neighbor.
We're
Go
not-
ahead and make an attack roll. This isn't going to be like a Like, the higher you roll, the better
Right.
it. It's like
subdual damage is basically what I'm trying to.
yeah, like so what it's going to be is the better you roll, the better you hit him as hard as you wanted to hit him.
Right.
19 total.
19? Okay, yeah.
AC
So-
is 11.
You clock him solid. You hit him a little bit harder than you meant to, and you meant to hit him kind of hard. He falls to the ground.
Yeah.
Take
go ahead.
1/7 of your life in damage.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead and take 2 points of damage. I
that's-
mean, you hit him in the head with
Yeah.
metal, so
That's fair.
And I can use a D6 to track my health. So
Well,
actually,
you don't have a
D8. You know what? You're right. We'll do a
D8.
D8. D8 will do
well, but
it.
once he's at 8, or 7, what's it matter? It
Right.
only matters when he's lower than max.
I'm just gonna you see me
Who's Max?
tighten my eyes and then.
Is this what Ohio looked like?
No.
You know how these games work. Like, maybe dying resets you.
It's crossed my character's mind before. But
Yeah, it has.
We'll get there.
That's a big risk, though.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
So you go to the house on the other side of Alzo's estate, and there's actually no knockers, but there's like a
Oh man, too bad.
I mean, Jeff wouldn't have knockers, so.
That's true.
I mean, he might. I'm not going to judge, but.
I mean, they just hang lower.
Yeah.
Different
that's
kinds
true,
of
too.
knockers.
12. Alright.
there's a rope that you would know to be attached to a bell.
2 bills?
Bing.
Tug that rope.
The gunshot comes through the
Door opens. It's a spear trap.
Oh my god.
Somewhere Breach is like,
You fools! Back behind the door.
Naked wizard comes out. I told you.
the meta in this.
it's fine. I'm piecing it together. Jordan's in this world. Jeff is Jeff Bezos.
This is his alternate. This is how he's going to escape climate change.
Jumping realities.
He's like that bastard Zuckerberg got me into the metaverse. He's like,
The crazy thing is theoretically, like, what if I already wrote that into the
I know
plot?
exactly. Like it could have.
yeah, all right.
I'm like, oh well, I guess if Jordan made it here, maybe Jeff Bezos also made it here to
Smashback
escape climate
prophecies
change.
came true. My world's on fire. How about yours?
The wormhole that gets him here is in space.
Right.
All the technology we found in this universe has
Oh,
been reverse
I
engineered
did
from the
this.
rocket.
Yeah,
So-
I
No
contribute.
offense.
I can't be bad. I fall into it. So
I'm gonna
you
stay here for this.
you would actually be pretty sure that this is the home of the Bangkor clockmakers. There's probably a really fancy term for clockmakers. Send it in.
Ooh, yeah, there probably is. I forget. I actually think I know what the term is.
If there is, Wickham should know what it was.
Yeah. So, but the Bangkor clockmakers,
Clocksmiths.
which is a family of a human and a human
Yeah.
and a high elf. So you're sort of knock and are waiting, and the door opens, and you don't see anything. And then you look down, and there's a gnome who's in very sort of fine dress, opens the door, has a pair of glasses, and adjusts them. Yes, Master Jag, is it? What can I help you with?
Actually, you're probably as good as anybody in this house to be able to give me some answers to questions. Were you, I don't actually know, and you don't have to feel pressured. Do you lodge here as well, or do you leave at the end of the day?
I leave at the end of the day, Master Jag.
Very well. I may need to speak with the master of the house. However, I just wanted to ask, in the last few days, aside from obviously right now, have you seen anybody around Alzo's house next door?
Besides right now,
Correct.
because you saw the big...
Yeah, I know. It's hard to miss.
Nosy neighbors. They
Unless it-
both saw me.
Hey, it's good. That means they might have seen.
Well, this
yours.
dude never said he wasn't nosy. The other
That's
guy.
fair.
I mean, you're also like a 7'6" thing going over this like fence in the nice part of town.
Let's say somebody trying to be a bit more discreet.
Recently you said.
Within the last couple of days.
The last couple of days. I haven't seen anyone. I believe Master de Fortin was out. At least for a while, over delivering to a shipment to Bantour. From what I heard from the masters of the home.
I had to make sure the dot was in the appropriate spot. 11.
11? Yeah, he seems to be speaking honestly.
I see. And usually you're out of here on the earlier side. Well, end of the day, so not late into the evening.
I typically prepare dinner and make sure everything is tidied up around the home before leaving for the evening. It's late, but
Not terrible.
not into the wee hours typically.
Right. Is there any chance that I could trouble you to see if the master of the house is available?
Of course. Give me one moment and I'll see if he has the time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
He actually will. Please, if you would, come in. I'll invite you in, and you can step into the home. The home is
Trapdoor.
very very nice, still very large. Not nearly as, especially inside, as ostentatious as de Fortin's home. But he, the butler, Daguerre, will sort of gesture you to a bench just inside the door that you can sit at when he goes upstairs to get to the master of the home. And with that, with where we are, let's call it for the night, I think.
Oh, you're
I was
dead, dude.
literally about to make this comment because my head hurts.
Yeah, we're getting there, and I feel like this is going to be probably about as good a stop as any.
Okay.
The end game boss about to come down that staircase.
Bezos.
A horologist is a clockmaker or clocksmith.
What's it called?
Not
Horologist.
Horologist.
Hip hip,
That sounds like something.
horologist.
That's what you guys call a horologist here?
A what?
It was funny that you said, "I'll see if the master of the house has the time."
I said it, and then I smirked to myself, and I'm like, no, you know what I'm not going to do? Get us off on another pun joke.
Yep.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us, everybody. It's a fun stream.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for running this. This is a blast.
I'm hyped.
If
Great.
If
Yeah.
the stream
Yeah,
was bad, he's
we're
bad, you can
we're
Bon
off
Jovi.
to a little bit of a slow start, which is not shocking.
We did stop for donuts. I
I was,
really derailed the whole thing with that. It was really just supposed to be like, cool, we went and got
Yeah.
donuts and we brought them to be nice.
That's not how it works. You don't quick stop anywhere in the beginning of D&D.
It's true. Wherever you go, you're gonna meet someone.
Every stop is substantial when you're level 1. It could be your last. You could try to jump over a wall and die.
Imagine if that was one of us going first.
Right. That's wild.
Could anyone have gone down with 5 points of damage?
No, but
Okay.
I would be maimed.
Okay.
I just be sitting there with my inhaler, like just.
I was just like, that would have been hilarious if I was like, yeah, 1d4 plus 1, sure, this will be fine. And I'm just like, 5 points of damage, and you're just like,
I'm bleeding out.
unconscious.
No one notices, and he dies.
Well, say,
I
nobody
go
knows.
to
Yes,
jump
you
over,
take-
and I've impaled myself on the fence.
Because what are the odds you take less than 18 seconds to get to the backyard?
Yeah, so
That's
you're
three
you
death
gotta,
saves.
you gotta beat the death save.
Right.
Fail.
Fail.
That's I'm dead. That's it. The fence could have killed me.
Natural 20. I would have survived.
Oh man.
I don't have to roll because
I was-
I could have jumped the fence twice and been fine.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. We will see you next week.
Yeah, we will. Bye.
Bye.
Later.